Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show reunion. That's right, the 4 original members have got together for the first time in what feels like forever to just chat about old times, really. My name's David Turners, the main one. They used to call me back in the day. Do you remember that? Sean Bell? Sean.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I hope everyone today, sees how successful I've become in the, 2 weeks we've been apart. I think, I really want to rub it in everyone's faces that my life's gone okay without all of you, actually.
But we all know the secret. We all know the truth.
No
Sean,
secret.
It's not got quite as well as you were making out. Matt Murray's here.
Oh, hello. Oh, that's so good to be back. Had to get a mic out from the cupboard.
Dust it off.
Underneath the Wii.
Yeah. Yeah, it's covered in dust. But, I love Wii Sports, so that's fine.
And the first one to officially leave the show was James Farley. He's here with us. Hi, James.
Hi, I'm super pumped to be back. Super excited.
Out of all of them, that was the least convincing. I mean, no, even if there was like 8 years gap, you wouldn't be pumped to be back. You'd moan and ask if we could put it off for a week, wouldn't you?
No, I'm excited.
We would like to thank our Patreon producers for this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Jack Oven, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gazman, Happy Birthday Sam and Neil, Gabsy Wabsy, Rocketman76, Rex Reese, Happy New Year Sam, Love from Neil, Grey Dragon Claw, Fred Fenge, Sensible Steve Garrett, Smooth Monkey, Happy Mother's Day Sam, Love from Dr. Farley's Sexy Fan, and Jeff Scred. They're the full Nels crew. They're absolutely the full Nels crew. Can you believe it? They're here, each and every one of them, cheering us on and supporting us. You could join them. You can join them by going to patreon.com/TCGS and hit the full Nels tier to get the full Nels experience. Yeah. If not, if that's not what you want to do, there are other tiers there. We got bonus shows. We have. We're trying to change our talks over, right? We're trying to try new things, mix it up a bit. This month we all went fishing in VR, didn't we? It was an experience. I'll tell you that.
There was some technical issues, for which I can only apologise.
There was some weird technical issues. There was
very weird technical issues.
I don't even know how that's even possible, but Sean was like 30 seconds behind. And like when we heard that things were out of sync, we just assumed that the video was out of sync with your voice, Sean.
Yeah.
But really, we were just like, so yeah, what are you doing this weekend then, Matt? Well, I was thinking, and then Sean was just going, never again. And it was like replying to something that happened 30 seconds earlier.
It was so weird because there were, without getting into it because it's fucking boring, but there were a lot of technical kinks we worked out on the Friday beforehand. But that delay stuff, that's just using, systems that we've used for years. And that has never happened before. So that was, that was good.
I'll say that if we corrected it, you corrected it, and we went on to have what was a pretty dangerous stream, because I don't know about you guys, but I completely forgot that we were actually streaming. Like towards the end there, when we were sitting there just chatting about television, we were just, I was literally, I might as well have been on a boat just with you three, and like oddly parked up right next to each other on a lake.
But that's
for some reason
the vibe.
We had to be in our own boat.
That's what everyone gets from this show anyway, Dave. That's what we should be aiming for.
Yeah, I know, but it scares me.
I
don't want
that.
Chat to go out.
Because the thing you normally get is, it's just like mates in the pub, and it's like, what if someone just left us a review that's like, do you know what it's like? It's like 3 mates on a boat together in the rain,
on individual boats,
in the
rain, on a lake,
on,
fishing. Yeah,
3 mates.
Sorry, 4.
Oh yeah, you were there, weren't you, James? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just weird. We got so used to this being a 3-man operation.
Do you know what I think has happened there? I think my brain, because I obviously I was viewing everything in first person.
Oh, shut up!
And I remember looking at the 3 of you, so I think I've erased myself.
Shut up, Sean. That's the weakest excuse. Like, if that's the case, you'd be doing that every time you go anywhere. Table for 1, please. Sorry. Yes, it's me and my wife. Yeah. James, how you doing, man? You've had a rough couple of weeks, haven't you? I mean, we'll take the piss. We will take the piss, but you've had a rough couple of weeks, haven't you, mate?
It's not been a lot of fun, but it's nearly over now, so that's good. Yeah.
Okay, before
I mean,
you continue,
he has been on holiday,
Before you
swings and
continue,
roundabouts.
before you continue, patreon.com/TCGS. I forgot to mention that. Get your tiers in. Get those tiers in.
Love your
Right,
tears.
okay. Yeah, he was on holiday, but then he did pick up COVID on holiday.
He's paid the price for having some
he
fun.
spread it around most of Europe. Picked it up from America, spread it around Europe, and now he wants everyone to be sorry for him. It's how are you feeling, James? Are you over it?
Nearly, yeah. I think I'm pretty much nearly over it now. Just got the cough. So there is going to be those awful me muting it and you going James like moments while I'm
It's not
coughing.
awful though. It's funny.
That's
pretty
definitely going to happen. Yeah.
Look, James, can I ask you something, right? And this is, don't get defensive, but you were one of those people that I've heard, like so many people in my life have said this. Oh, have you ever had COVID? And they go, yeah, we had it right at the start. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't test for it back then, but we definitely had it in March. Did you? Yeah, everyone seemed to have it in March. You were one of those people that said that.
Yeah,
now
we
that
definitely did have it. No, we definitely had it before. Absolutely.
You reckon?
Dave,
Okay.
seriously, we had it in China and it was unbelievably worse than it was this time that I had it.
Really?
Okay.
It was horrible. I mean, come on, my son had to go to hospital.
Don't bring that into it. I'm only mucking about.
Dave's like,
Bring that
that makes
into
it less
yeah.
funny if you mention your child going to hospital. Don't mention
exactly. Okay, but you're all better now, are you?
Yeah, just looking forward to the family coming back here on Wednesday, which
is
today.
Is that happening Wednesday? Definitely.
It is, yeah, because they've both tested negative now. So
nice.
Yeah, they're coming home.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, that'd be good. They're coming. Anyway, you've not been on the show for a little while. You must have reams of notes, James.
Yeah, I've got three things written down here.
3 notes.
I mean, one of them
Three.
we've already just kind of gone through. I mean, you slagged me off last week for leaving it late, but I had COVID and it wasn't very nice, and a lot of other things going on. So
I had COVID as well, but I let people know a little bit earlier. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I had COVID and I did the show, so
That's true, right? Yeah. I came down with COVID whilst
Matt, you
recording.
do the show from like a hospital bed, Matt. That's not an achievement.
Yeah,
It's true that is actually
that's what I'm
true.
doing right now. Actually,
Yeah. I've got to be on. It's
I've got this.
Imagine if
They'll forget about me.
I know we've like half joked before. Oh, what would we do if one of us died? What if Matt died during a recording?
that would be the best, wouldn't it?
I mean,
He'd still find a way to upload the audio.
we know it wouldn't because we'd all just go, Matt, wake up! We can't upload it.
Matt's got like a note by his desk saying, "If you found me here dead, please export as MP3 and drop in the Dropbox."
Yeah. One of you would have to like talk Jill through it.
in mono. Make sure it's in mono.
It'll be in his will. We'll have to go to the solicitor to have the reading and everything. And they'd be like, oh, no, it says here's the instructions for uploading TCGS. Is anyone? Oh, that's for you. Okay.
Have any of us got a will yet?
Nah.
No, I should do, but
We got to sort that out. Yeah, you're supposed to when you have kids, aren't you? You're supposed to, like, instantly.
Yeah.
I need to sort that out. It's money, though, isn't it?
I know. I mean,
It is money.
I know instantly you're supposed to get life insurance, which I did get, but the will, I didn't really have
we've
anything
got life
back then.
insurance, but like my will currently say, sorry everyone, I ain't got anything to give anyone.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't. It's a burden me handing over what I own. So I don't know. Maybe just chuck it in the bin. Do an open house.
We've
So
talked
this is
about.
a thought. I need to think about what I'm going to leave you, David, in my will.
Will it be your fucking curtains? What would you leave me? What would you want? Leave me an iPad, will you? You got about 8 of those.
I've not given you one of those yet.
No, you've not given me an iPad.
Okay.
When I heard Jen say that you were dishing them out to everyone,
Well,
I was
next time I'm over.
Hold on.
Yeah, next time I'm
give me a
over,
couple of iPads. Yeah, love that. I don't know. What would you leave? Is there anything specific? Have you got one of those Dead or Alive mouse mats?
No, sadly not.
No? Okay.
Maybe I'll buy one though, and then I can leave you that.
Get one. Then to stop you.
How many music men have you got in your cupboard? That's what I want to know. Oh, that's a bit of feedback before we continue with yours. We found out something about you last week, James.
Did you?
Have you bought another Switch?
No, I haven't. No. Oh yeah, because that's the other thing I wanted to that was on my list actually of feedback.
Oh, go on.
Okay, so because the other, I mean, going through the list, the second thing on my list was Super Pat Vieira, but I don't know why. I can't remember why I wrote that down.
It's in your brain just permanently now.
Yeah.
But then the third thing was about it was Ari another Switch, and so this was about Asher, because Asher's Switch, like, he keeps going on at me about how his Switch is getting too hot, and it's like the fans are going constantly. And then you were speculating as to whether this meant I was going to buy a new Switch, and I'm not. I mean, it's because it's my old launch day Switch that he's now using.
Hold on, you're not, because he's already got another Switch, right?
No, he hasn't got another Switch.
So if his Switch breaks, right, he's not got his own Switch.
No, he hasn't. No.
So you're not going to use that as an opportunity to spend more money with Nintendo.
Why would I want to buy a new? Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Because if he doesn't have one, that kind of sucks.
Out of everyone, James, you can't ask, why would I buy another Switch?
No, I wouldn't buy one. No, if it was
that question.
If it was broken, then maybe I'd consider it. But at the moment, there's no point. It's still working.
Okay. Yeah.
At the moment, there's only like a 25% chance it's going to injure your child. Yeah, so it's not
set the whole fucking flat on fire.
It's just the fans go all the time. It's just a bit old, isn't it?
Okay, all right then. I was sorry, I was thinking of a joke about how you could make the fans go quiet by scoring 2 goals in the second half. But let's move on. Have you got any more notes, James?
That's all I've got, actually. I mean, they were good shows, so I enjoyed them. They were fun.
Cheers. All right. Okay, should we get some feedback from everyone else?
Go on,
Matt. They all love it.
I think I did actually, yeah. We're going to start with Sarah Dyer. I heard you need a Fast and Furious expert, so consider this me volunteering. I mean, expert is a strong word, but if you're basing it off Dark Calls, neither was Dave in that.
Okay. There was no expert in that first series, but there was in the second. James, you were a pure Star Wars expert, right?
Yeah, I tried.
Well, apart
you
from
got
the
a
stuff
couple
got
of
wrong.
things wrong.
A couple of things, yeah. Just
have to do some clarification.
Just have a look at the pin tweet. It's still there.
Is it really still your pin tweet?
Yeah,
it still is the pin tweet. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
But Sarah continues. Honestly, just start with the 4th film and go for it. I got into them not long ago and saw the 9th one in cinema with a Tango Ice Blast and 4 White Claws, and it was the greatest cinema experience of my life, at least until Jackass Forever came out.
Sarah, you can't say I'm a Fast and Furious expert that would be up for doing a Fast and Fury calls. That's right, I thought about it. And start with, just start the 4th one. No, if you're doing the series, you've got to start from number 1, haven't you?
Yeah, if we're going to do this as a show, I mean, which I'm Sarah, I am genuinely tempted. Like, just because, right? It's the idea is funny to me because, like, Sarah and I have sort of internet known each other for like 6-7 years, and if someone had like come from the future and just been like, "Oh yeah, you're going to do a Fast and Furious podcast with her at some point," and I'd just be like, weird, "But I don't like Fast and Furious. Why would I do?"
Well, it's like me going back to Joypod and saying, do you know at some point you're going to do a Star Wars podcast and a Dark Souls podcast? What?
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Sean, if that person came from the future and said, you're going to do that podcast with Sarah, but she hasn't seen the first 4, you're like, well, what?
She's seen the first 3.
Sorry, first 3.
But also, if someone come from the future and told you this stuff, you go, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but you're from the future.
Yes,
what the fuck
the
are you doing?
Most interesting thing you could tell me.
This is the one thing you're telling me.
No, I don't want to tell you about all the other stuff. It's shit.
Yeah, really depressing.
Well, Elon Musk has just bought Twitter, and I go, who's that? I don't.
Oh, you'll find out.
I don't know. We need to leave a good few years between cool series, and
been
now
we've
done
hasn't it?
Why do we leave a good few years? Why?
Because it needs to feel like an event, and we've just done a rerun of Dark Calls, so we need a couple of years now, a little bit of breathing room.
I think Dave just doesn't like the idea of one of these happening without him being
definitely
involved.
100%.
Why would you think that?
Because you said in the past that?
Is it because James and I have created this concept, and now you guys want to steal it? Is
not
that
stealing it? It's all part of the same. We're all part of the same team, aren't we?
It's comments like that, David.
It wasn't though. This is. We did this years before all this started, Sean.
Okay, so Matt, are we going to take down all the Dark Calls episodes and the Star Calls ones from the TCGS website and everything? Yeah,
I might have to. Yeah, and David,
apparently it's not ours. So
I mean, you're very welcome to. I didn't ask you to put them up.
I was similarly not asked either.
Exactly. And I know noticed he whacked his little TCGS logo on it. James, did you notice that?
His
Think
Did you notice that?
hour.
He just whacked that on there. Just went,
Our logo,
this is
David.
under our banner now. Oh, is it? Is it under our banner? Is it? Fucking hell! Come on, then. Next.
That's weird. Tarnished and
Went sour, didn't it?
Jesus Christ. Tarnished and Varnished Elden Ring. I'm very much in the same boat as Sean after last week's Elden Ring chat. I hit a 50-hour mark and was getting thoroughly frustrated after 30-40 runs at the Draconic Tree Sentinel, who is the most irritating boss I've personally found so far. And yes, I'm including General Radhan in that list. I think that's how you probably pronounce it. I'm not sure. I logged on just before the recent Sea of Friends stream, beat a Draconic Tree Sentinel with some help, and then put another hour and a half in. I should probably uninstall it for a bit and play some other stuff, as I've had moments of almost hating it, but it's so engaging, which is weird for me to say, as I have personally sworn off all Soulsborne games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm luckily I haven't got annoyed at it yet. It's more just the time it is taking away from playing literally anything else. That's starting to get to me, but it is really fucking good. I mean, I haven't.
It's funny, isn't it? You were the most reluctant out of all of us.
Yep. And now look at me.
And now look at you. Yeah. You're into it the furthest, but by far.
Yeah. I didn't put it in my list this week, but I just once again I've found new places and seen new things, and it's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I need to get back to it.
It doesn't end.
I need to get back to it. I booted it up yesterday. Had some more exploring downstairs, and just really enjoyed it. But I know that there's part of me that's going, look, if you're going for this game, you've got to go for it. And I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready to go for it yet. I think I need to get some Cyberpunk out of the way first before I go back to it proper.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's there. I mean, I'm going to smash through some more of it. 100%.
This is also my plan.
It's too good not to play.
I want to do Cyberpunk, and then I'm thinking I'll go back to it because I want to play it and ideally finish it before the Game of the Year show. And, Elden Ring, that is. But,
I don't know if I'll get to the end of it, but we'll see. I went into it not being pressured to finish it. So I'm hoping that I manage to maintain that because I don't want to feel pressured to finish it. I just want to get to the point where I'm like done with it. But, even then, that's acceptable, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
But you don't. It feels weird to say that.
I mean, it's acceptable with any game. It's especially acceptable with one that reportedly takes about 160 fucking hours to finish.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing that scares shit out of me.
Do you know what I really want to play? I really want to play Dark Souls 3. I'd like to stream that. I really would like to stream it, honestly. But it's just at the moment, it's really expensive, which is annoying.
Is it really?
Yeah. I looked at it on buying it from the digital store or whatever, and it was like 50 quid. I don't really fancy paying
that's
that.
Nuts.
It's nuts.
Wait until there's a discount.
Okay.
Cool. We're going to end with Garrison Savannah. Since David was disappointed that he didn't get to slaughter the younglings in LEGO Star Wars, maybe I can cheer him up with an exploit. If you add child Anakin into your party, you can wail on him with aerial attacks to boost yourself up in the air to reach much higher platforms or items. If you time it well, you can pretty much fly around the level by battering him relentlessly. As it's a LEGO game, for children are immune to damage, so it's probably all good. Yeah, I saw a bunch of videos in launch week or two of people using this exploit of just smashing the character to get those blue kyber crystals and all sorts.
Yeah, I don't really know. There's also an area of the game that I realised where, where Rey goes to that festival and then Kylo Ren steals her necklace.
Yes.
Yeah, she goes to the market festival
that
thing.
Bit of Lego Star Wars. I was just running around it as Darth Vader, just slashing everything up in sight, and then accidentally fell into a crowd full of children watching some sort of puppet show. I was like, oh right, shit, no, that's pretty dark. Don't do it again. So that was pretty dark. But that there's a few things that's cut from that. But still, the dismemberment stuff's still in the Lego game. People lose their hands where they're supposed to lose their hands, and
you suppose you can't really take that out, can you? Because it's kind of important.
You can't take out the youngling thing either. Do you know what I mean? It's essential to the plot, Sean, isn't it?
Is it?
that he just went and slashed up a bunch of children. That was the weirdest thing in Star Wars. That was the weirdest thing in Star Wars. Like, sorry if this is spoilers. I'm sure it's not.
You're all right.
When I think back, because obviously this has made me reflect on the films a lot, like playing through this game. And when I look back at it, and they go, like, you watch episode 3, and you're like, Darth Vader's good. He's good. He's good. He's turned good. There's good in him. And then you go back and look at his past and go, he slaughtered children.
Yep.
That's... No.
It's like, I understand they're trying to get it across that he's a baddie now, but I mean, come on.
That was the wrong way of going about it, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a real baddie. That is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS to leave your feedback.
James, man, how cool is this?
I know.
Time for the news.
I've just realised it's still got my name on it in the doc. Let me change it. There we go. Sorry, James.
Have you missed it a little bit, James? The like doing the news and all that.
Absolutely. I was quite excited this morning, thinking I'm going to pick out some like choice morsels,
Bangers.
for
I'm
today.
going to go on gamesindustry.biz.
Yeah.
And
So, do you know what is really good on there now? Is on some of the longer articles, they have a summary at the top, which is really helpful.
okay.
Oh my
Big
god!
fan of that.
Can we start a website that is just like news for podcasters? It's like, look, here's the full story, but if you just want to read it out and sound like you know everything, here's the paragraph.
Yeah, but then we'd be the worst ones to do that because none of us want to read it.
No, we just copy and paste it from gamesindustry.biz.
Right,
It's a great website.
It's a great business model.
Yeah,
it does sound good. Yep, go on, James.
So
Let's
anyway,
go.
the first story is about Ubisoft because they're attracting buyout interest, or rather, I think they want buyout interest. So apparently, there's some equity firms involved that are said to be interested in acquiring them, but there's been no negotiations at all, and Ubisoft have said they've declined to comment on any takeover interest, but have also said that they have a very strong portfolio and they're well positioned to take up such opportunities, which is quite funny.
Yeah. They mentioned doing anything about the horrible allegations about sexual misconduct and
no, of course not.
treatment of staff? No mention of that in this still press release. Gotcha. No. Okay, fine, sure, carry on.
But their share price has gone up by 20%, so I'm sure they're...
Oh, good for them.
Right,
let's all hope they do successful business in future.
Yeah. So apparently it looks like they're trying to get bought by somebody, and their market value was $4.8 billion, I think it was last Friday. So that's quite cheap for Microsoft if they, when they want to swoop in and buy them.
How much?
4.8 billion.
Is that? I'd have thought it'd be bigger than that.
So it's 4.8 billion euros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not talking. Like, when you think about it, they still have Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. All right, they've ruined Far Cry, but they've still got some big types. Rainbow Six.
All those Tom Clancy games,
They got the Rabbids.
Rabbids.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine if Microsoft bought them and then they had to bring out Mario and Rabbids at the Olympic Games or whatever it's called? The Rabbids thing.
Mario and Sonic and Master Chief and Rabbids.
At the Rabbids. At the
Rabbids.
Mm-hmm. At the Rabbids. Let's go Rabbids.
Presumably, Microsoft can't swoop in, right? Because they've still got a whole load of shite to deal with to hopefully, for them, from their perspective, hopefully buy Activision Blizzard. So surely the dust needs to settle on that first.
See, I reckon
if they can acquire them, then they can acquire
5.2 billion. That's just like, oh yeah, we'll buy them. Done. It's like when you're at a till and you're like, oh okay, I'll get that chewing gum because it's right next to the till.
Fruit pastels, mate. Fruit pastels every time.
I'll get that Coke because it's right there. It's like you don't think about it. You don't think, oh, what's going to add to the bill? They're like,
just 5.2 billion, whatever. Coins. The little orange bag.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Ubisoft is right now.
Chocolate coins are bullshit, man. They're a pain in the arse.
They taste horrible as well.
Getting fucking nail off, and you have to taking some of the chocolate off fuck off.
They don't even taste good either. They're always like that kind of horrible cocoa.
Yeah, but there's something about them, man.
And not even real coins, Dave. Not even real coins.
They're not. You can't. If I was on a bus, they'd have to take that.
It's got the queen. That is legal tender.
Legal tender.
And they've got a load of stamps and some chocolate coins.
Oh God. Oh. Carry on talking. I'm going to search, right? I'm going to go onto YouTube now and I'm going to search pay with chocolate coins prank. And I bet someone's done
100%. Yeah.
There's been a million of them, I bet.
Anyway, so while he's doing that, I reckon that what's happened here is I don't think Microsoft are interested, and that's why they're sort of touting themselves around.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
If you look at like all the Microsoft acquisitions there's been like over the last year or whatever, it all happens suddenly quite quietly, doesn't it? Like, you don't hear about it before it happens. This just feels like Ubisoft are like, please buy us. It's like, please.
It's not
I tell you what, I don't think it's been done, So if you're a budding YouTuber listening to this, get on this.
YouTuber. So this is TikTok shit, man. This is...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This has probably got about 1 million views on TikTok.
Sorry about that. Well,
right.
I try and buy, it's that standard TikTok voice.
Well, that's
the standard kind of TikTok narration voice
as well, isn't it? Have you noticed that? It's always like peaking. That voice.
It is always a bit loud, yeah.
I'm trying to pay for. It's like fuck. Oh, Jesus, well irritate. And then it's like TikTok. I don't know about you guys, but for me, TikTok is now an app that makes me go, well, I'll just go and search the title of that on YouTube so I can watch the full thing then. Because honestly, how many times? Part 1 of 8. It's like, fuck's sake. Sorry, it's the news.
It's all right. It's the
news, James.
I know
Ubisoft?
some people have obviously been saying, oh, what about Sony? Because they've been buying some stuff. But it doesn't make sense for them to buy Ubisoft, right? Because Ubisoft makes very similar... Like, they make, cinematic open world games. Which is... What?
Yeah, like they do. It's this. You imagine our next big games are Horizon and Assassin's Creed. Right? Okay, what's the difference?
No, they're just competing for how many icons they got on screen. On each one.
Exactly. There's a big internal competition for how many side quests you fit into your game. Yeah.
So it doesn't it wouldn't add anything to Sony's portfolio, would it? I don't think.
No,
I don't know. I think it could do. I mean, you think again? All right, the majority of their games, but they're not really. They've got no first person shooters, have they?
No, but neither of
Ubisoft.
Well, they've got
Far Cry.
They've got Far Cry,
Rainbow Six.
That's 2.
But then also, I mean,
that's two huge shooters right there. So
Sony bought Bungie as well, didn't they, recently? And it's like it feels really like Sony are only going for companies that they already have like partnerships and stuff with, that they're already doing work with.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't seem to do that with Ubisoft. I don't know.
Nintendo should buy them.
Yeah.
What would you do about it? Nintendo buy them? If Nintendo bought them and then in the next direct they said, we literally bought them because we didn't want any more Assassin's Creed. We're sick
we all want just to end it. We're sick of it.
You're welcome, gamers.
Just Tom Clancy games. That's all we're making now.
And each and every Tom Clancy game has Mario in it. That's it. We're going to change the bullets to green shells. Let's see how pissed off that fan base get.
What I find, I think because of Microsoft's big acquisitions, that loads of big companies are now probably thinking, hang on, maybe we should see if anyone would buy us for...
You think there's a bit of jealousy going on?
So, look, I think they'll think we're shit if we don't buy someone.
Lots of people get acquired, lots of people are acquiring. How about we just see if anyone might be interested in buying us for 10, 20 billion or whatever it's going to be. So I think a lot of companies will probably be doing the same kind of stuff. But
maybe Meta will buy them. And then it will just, because they want all the IP, like Assassin's Creed, and all the bit Assassin's Creed VR.
Hey, that's already happening, mate.
Yeah, that's already, it's already in the works.
Yeah, man.
As is Splinter Cell VR. Yeah. I think they announced that a couple of years ago. Well, so I think September 2020 is when they announced that, but we're still waiting for that. Yeah.
God, imagine looking at all those icons on a VR headset. That'd be just overload.
Yeah, with scale and stuff, it'd be fantastic. This just doesn't seem like any other acquisition whereby it's all out in the public. All the ones we've seen previously have really kind of happened and taken months of work beforehand before it gets, rumoured near the end or announced. So this just seems like buy us,
it sounds
please.
like a company that wants to be acquired, doesn't it? So
yeah, definitely.
Weird way of doing it. Okay, all right.
Okay, next story is that Amy Hennig is now working on Star Wars again because her company with Skydance New Media have got a deal with Lucasfilm Games to create what they're calling a richly cinematic action-adventure game featuring an original story in the legendary Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah. How much is this her work she did with VA?
I mean, yeah.
I've got a feeling it's going to be that game, isn't it?
Yep.
That she worked really hard on and then got flushed down the toilet by EA.
Mhm.
So now's a
it
chance for
won't
her
be if
to make
EA
it.
own that game, though, will it?
Not if they own the
Well,
game.
it depends,
but
because wasn't she making... wasn't it an Uncharted-style game, though, that? But with a strong
Well,
story?
that's what this sounds like, doesn't it? Like
that's what this.
Well, yeah.
cinematic action adventure game.
The thing is, Matt, is that they probably own maybe the title or whatever. They can't possibly own like the story and the themes, can they?
I think they
can't
probably
do
can.
that.
Maybe,
Yeah, of course
but
I
then,
can.
I don't know, because...
So what are they going to do? They're going to sue him because it's got Jedis in it. Jedi in it.
Oh, you've embarrassed yourself.
I don't know how that works in terms of like IP law and stuff, because obviously so many stories in games, films, whatever, are technically derivative of others. So I don't know how hard it is to prove that like one story is a rip. I mean, obviously, Amy Hennig's relationship and having previously worked on the other game would help from a legal standpoint, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know how easy it is to sort of enforce that.
Hey, Amy, if you're listening, give us a call.
Right, Ames.
Let us know what your contractual obligations are to EA, what you can and cannot do. And
She just walked into Skydance and was just like, I've got a Blu-ray here with some code on it. If anyone's... just copy and paste it.
Can anyone access Dropbox? Anyone got Dropbox? Yeah, probably.
I mean,
just
it's
delete.
good she's...
Find EA, delete, replace.
Yeah.
Just get that out of the system.
I mean, it's great that she is working it again, because you might have thought if she got burnt previously by EA and having what seemed like at the time a dream project cancelled, that she'd be like, "Oh, sod that! I'm not going to go no near it." But the fact she must believe strongly that she's got a great idea and capable of doing some amazing things, that she will go back to the Star Wars IP, even if she may have had a kind of she got burnt previously. So it's exciting to see what she and the team are going to come up with.
Yeah. Plus,
I mean, this is all good as well, because...
Oh, God,
sorry, Sean.
I think you're going to say the same thing as me. Go on.
Well, I was going to say it's kind of good that this is because one of the things of the EA exclusivity deal being over now, and there's lots of different companies now making stuff, which is...
I was just going to say it's nice that Star Wars video games are not being left in the hands of David Cage.
That's the thing, wasn't it? When you see like a narrative Star Wars game that isn't by David Cage, I was well excited when I saw that.
Aren't there like there's like Respawn are making 2 or 3. There's like Jedi Fallen Order 2. There's the David Cage stuff. There's this. It feels like there's like 10 plus Star Wars games in development at the moment.
I'm really pumped for the Zynga arena shooter for mobile, Star Wars Hunters.
Mate, that looks okay. Have you seen footage of it?
No.
It just looks like Overwatch with Star Wars people. Is fine. I'm all right with that. And it's on Switch as well, so you can play it with proper controls.
Okay. Okay, next story is that Rockstar has edited transphobic elements out of GTA 5 re-release. This is because there's an LGBTQ plus group called Outmaking Games that had written to Rockstar regarding the content, and Rockstar have now removed like what they're calling like transphobic stereotypes, and also they've removed some trans NPCs, and there's also an advert that was in a store that they've removed, and also the harmful dialogue that's directed at characters from the main character as well. That's all been removed as well.
That's good, isn't it?
It is.
It's really good.
Like, and obviously there's people shrieking about it on Twitter. Oh,
really?
cause not people we know, obviously, but just people like, oh, you've given into the woke mob. It's like, no, they read one letter and went, oh, actually, this is shit.
Yeah.
You should probably
things evolve, man, and we're going to see more of this because games have a longer shelf life with the not only with backwards compatibility, which we're seeing, really becoming quite a big thing in console gaming, but as we were saying, like we would talk about this in the week, weren't we, James? That it's not so much that backwards compatibility is really important. It's the fact that the digital library that doesn't go away that's really important. There's a difference between playing old discs that you've found up in your loft again, or just you buy a game on a digital platform and 3 consoles later you've still got access to it on that on that future console. So we're going to see lots of like, especially first person single player games, sorry, where you're going to go back to them and see stuff in it and go, fucking hell, this ain't right.
Yep.
You know, because things evolve, you know, rightly. They evolve. Yeah. And for developers to recognise that and go, hey, yeah, no, that is wrong. We were wrong to do that. Let's correct it. Rather than go, well, actually, this is a sign of the times when we made it, you know, and we'll stand by the humour. Like, any of that shit can fuck off. You know, things evolve. Rockstar have recognised that. Good, they've corrected it. I think that's pretty good.
There was a good companion piece about this on gamesindustry.biz, great website, where Brendan Sinclair was sort of making the point that, you know, like, people kicking off and saying, like, oh, you know, like, GTA is supposed to be, you know, like, transgressive, and it's like, oh, it's supposed to make fun of everyone, and blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be, like, anti-authoritarian, and it's like, yeah, it is. This is an anti-authoritarian move. Like, look at, like, you know, government and, you know, media attitudes towards trans people. It's horrific. So doing something like this is anti-authoritarian, like, given the current climate and the shit that trans people have to deal with. So yeah, it's a positive.
I still
move.
think there's something in it where you say, oh, people like not even talk about the people that are moaning about it. Everyone's going to moan about everything, right? They've made that decision. I think that's the right decision. Oh, you're ruining my just ignore them. Like, you know, forget the think pieces. Here's why. Just ignore them, because there's nothing that you will say that will make them go, oh, no, I see your point. Because that's not what they're looking for. Do you know what I mean? They're not looking
nowadays.
for...
People are just looking to kick up a fuss on
an explanation, are they? Yeah, it's... no, it's good on Rockstar for actually making that change. And, of course, there's always an argument to be made to say that, hey, that should never have been in there in the first place. And I understand that. But then I think there's also got to be some mutual understanding where we're saying, this game is very old, and a lot of education has been pushed out there, and that's a good sign that the education that is being put out and the conversation, the general conversation about these issues, transphobic issues, all of that, you know, that's more widespread now, and that's a real sign of progression.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's clear that it is pushing things forward, and that's good for everyone.
Yeah, and like, you know, maybe you could make like a preservation argument, right? Like, oh, but if you start just taking bits out of games, like, what's the like? Is this a slippery slope? It's like, well, no, not really, because the main thing is because this is a new version of the game, right? The original. If you really still want to play it with the transphobia, and you can play the PS4 version, like, like if you're that fucking desperate. So you know, you can't even sort of play the card of like, but if it's all right to just start changing things from old games, then where does that end up? It's like, well, this is a new release of the game in 2022, and yeah, they have updated it. It's just like they've updated the graphics, guys. Yeah, it's the same thing. Chill out.
Also, right? Also, I think we could safely say it's a case-by-case basis. If something's removed from a game and that in itself becomes problematic, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But in this instance, it's about, you know, some distasteful jokes that have, you know, really been shown up for how distasteful they are in this day and age, and a developer going, oh yeah, that is shitty, we'll fix that.
Yep.
And fixing it. Like, I don't understand what about the future? Well, we'll talk about it in the future if it becomes a problem, but that isn't. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, next story is that a Nintendo Switch Joycon repair center has been constantly overwhelmed. This is in it's a repair center that's close to New York. This is Kotaku spoke about this.
They've not heard of contact cleaner.
Exactly, that's what
resource of contact cleaner.
I did tweet at them like pictures of WD-40 contact cleaner, but yeah.
Oh, James, I didn't tell you this, did I? Right, I'll tell you how good fucking contact cleaner is. My dock broke from my Switch, and I couldn't. You would put the Switch in, wouldn't work, wouldn't charge, wouldn't put the image on the TV. I was absolutely gutted, and I thought docks are just ridiculous, and they're hard to get hold of as well. They're like, unless you want to get a cheap third-party one, but all the third-party ones were still like 40 quid or whatever, and didn't look very good. And I was like, oh mate, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, it's broken anyway. I'm just going to smother it in contact cleaner. I did that, left it for about 5 minutes, put the switch in, it worked instantly. I'm like, this shit is miracle.
It's the best.
Working.
It's the absolute best.
Unbelievable. Sorry, go on.
So anyway, what happened with this was apparently there was like a huge volume of defective Joy-Cons were coming into this shop it was like a third-party shop that Nintendo would, was working with. They like palm the deliveries onto them to then deal with them. And this was creating a very high turnover of staff as well because there were so many people that were having to deal with these Joy-Cons to the point where at one point they had to create like an entire new workspace just for Joy-Con repair. And
imagine working there, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, it's also because they had this requirement that like 90% of incoming Joy-Cons had to be done within 4 days. Which is like, I mean, that's insane if there's like loads of them coming in. Then they also had other problems whereby like people were having their switches wiped because the serial numbers couldn't be verified properly before they were sent back to people. And so they were like, well, to be on the safe side, we should just wipe it because we don't want to send the wrong one to the wrong person and that kind of thing. So they were just like, just wipe them.
Because the account and stuff.
Yeah,
shit.
Because there was one incident where somebody got a switch back and it was not theirs. It was somebody else's because they kind of done with that. But it's just this Joy-Con drift stuff. It's still an enormous mess, it seems. And I know there's a number of like class action lawsuits still going on in the US, like to try and sort of deal with it. But it's not. I mean, it's not just Nintendo. I mean, even Valve were like talking about this with the the Steam Deck hasn't got this yet, but they're saying like what they would do if it did have it and everything. It just seems to be a big
because with the Steam Deck, like the sticks are easily replaceable. So maybe that's to try and offset if there is an issue that actually it's easy to fix, but
they also, I mean, like the DualSense has this problem as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You get like stick drift with that as well. It's insane. Like I wonder what the main cause of this is. Whether it is like because with the Switch, is it like it's dust and stuff, isn't it? Or I'm not entirely sure. I mean, Sean,
I think
repaired
it must be.
Yeah, but I've only repaired them by taking the old stick out and putting a new one in, so I don't don't know how the inner workings behave. But I don't know. I mean, what sucks about this is that like because obviously this is like a separate company that's handling that's actually carrying out the repairs. Is it so basically some manager has just like bid for the contract to handle these and they've just gone this is how many we can do, it'll be fine, we'll do it for this amount of money. And then the reality of the situation then falls to the people who actually, are working in the workshop and having a shitty time because of a decision that was made way above them. So
they're being put under like enormous pressure, to like get all this stuff done, and it's not good.
So what they should have done is what Sony did and just quietly on the sly update it. Do you know what I mean? You've heard this, right?
I've heard there's new DualSense pads out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically since the new colours come out. There's I was reading about it on VG247 that they've
also a great website.
They've updated it with new sticks. So okay, that's one way around it. Sony just quietly fix it and don't tell anyone about it.
That.
Just say new colours now, and you'll be all right. So that's how Sony have got around it. Maybe. I mean, it was weird when Nintendo released the Lite and it still had the shitty sticks in it.
Yeah, and then also with the OLED, people were like, oh, maybe they fixed it with this one. And it's like, I don't think they have. I think it's still the same ones. It's just,
so mad.
I mean, maybe it's just someone who works at procurement in Nintendo is just like, look, I've bought 50 billion of these fucking sticks. I know the shit, but we just got to get them out. Got to do something with them. Make a new Switch.
Is it like when you buy
they won't notice. They won't notice.
When you get new coffee pods and they're on deals, so you buy loads of them and then you have one and you're like, oh no, I've got to drink this for a month now.
I'm bringing Christmas blend into February.
I am about to run out of the vitamin D tablets that I got at the start of COVID.
Oh dear.
How many did you buy?
It's just a little fucking bottle of them. It's just that they're so tiny. It turns out there's like 500 of them in this.
Well, you bought the chewable ones and not those fizzy ones.
No, they're just little tablets. Not chewable.
Oh, the fizzy ones you put in water makes it look like you're drinking piss first thing in the morning. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I have them at work and people walk past, look at the glass on my desk.
Like
and just
Barocca
think,
and stuff.
What's Barocca?
Barocca.
What's Barocca?
You can't just.
What is Barocca?
What's Barocca? You can't just say Barocca in a high pitched voice.
It's like you, but on a good day. That's the advert.
Yeah, you've not seen the ads. it's
a vitamin. I think there's like vitamin B or vitamin C ones, and it's just the fizzy stuff you put in a drink, and it does look like piss.
Oh right, these are like cheaper versions then, because you could get them for like 90p in.
It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, I know. My dad always says that. He goes, "Hey, Dave, you know Nurofen? Yeah, don't get that. Just get ibuprofen. Same stuff. Is it? Yeah." But they've only got Nurofen here, because they know that it's needlessly inflated. We better get that then. Yeah, we'll get that, Dad. Thank you.
Did you just say the thing is, Dad, right? When I go to a shop and I've got a really bad headache, and I know I've spent £3 on the Nurofen, there's an extra. It's psychosomatic, but there's definitely an extra kick there.
Yeah,
I've treated myself to the top line. Shit. This
is definitely gonna go now.
I've got Nurofen Max. Yeah, it's well worth a £7.50.
All right, okay.
Next story is that Sony's PS5 variable refresh rate thing is rolling out this week.
This has been the weirdest fucking. This has been so weird, hasn't it? I remember them saying it's finally coming to your consoles about 4 months ago.
Yeah. It's coming. Well, also, it's coming now, but only a handful of games are getting it in the next couple of weeks.
Oh.
So there's a list of games, which is not an extensive list, but there are more patches coming. But apparently, you can still switch it on for everything if you want to. But then they said results may vary.
Oh, that's
as
right.
to
Yeah,
whether it actually improves things or not.
Yeah, potentially not supported.
Okay. James.
Yeah.
For our listeners, can you please explain what variable refresh rate is and how it improves your gaming experience?
Okay, so on HDMI 2.1 VRR compatible TVs and PC monitors, VRR dynamically syncs the refresh rate of the display to the PS5's graphical output.
Don't give me any of that stuff. Speak to me like a human being.
I mean, Matt and I did this the other week, just saying.
I know, but I want James to do it, Sean. How have you not noticed what I'm doing yet? Come on, James. Speak in English, please. Let's go.
It enhances visual performance for PS5 games by minimising or eliminating visual artifacts, such as frame pacing issues and screen tearing.
This is bollocks. You're just talking. This is management speak, James, and I know you hate that.
It just better syncs the HDMI to the PS5
James,
better.
Okay,
James, I'm now just going to remind you as well that Matt and I covered this the other week.
He's asking me, Sean. I don't want to do this.
But did you say that it better syncs the HDMI?
Yeah.
Sean, was that what you said?
Yeah, he's actually just quoted us word for word.
I don't think Sean and I went to that level of detail, but
no, it's a bit beyond us.
Yeah, we're not that technically minded.
What games does it work for, James?
I'm not going to read the whole list because it's boring. But Astro's Playroom is one of them. Destiny 2 works in that. The Spider-Man games, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village. Yeah, and some others.
All the hits.
I need that new Spider-Man game. I need it. I'm at that level now where I'm like, I want to just go through one of those games again.
Yeah.
Just mind-numbing.
There's Wolverine as well coming. Well, that should be good.
Oh, rad.
Yeah.
Got him.
All right, next story is that Sega are developing big budget, inverted commas, Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio reboots.
Oh, fucks.
I mean, this could go either way, couldn't it? I don't know how to feel about this.
It sounds like it's only going to go one way if you read the full description.
Oh, go on.
Well, go on, James.
What do you mean the full description? That is the full description. There's not much else to say. I mean, it's coming out in 2 to 3 years, and apparently they're part of it's part of a thing that Sega are calling their Super Game Initiative.
Well, how can it be bad then if they're super games?
Yeah,
but there's also others as well. There's other potential games as well that they may bring back, including...
Matt, what you're itching to say, so what are you itching to say?
Well, again, the thing I heard, and I think what the Bloomberg article mentions is that basically the whole description is about the fact that they want to bring in, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's all basically about. It's more about the fact that they want revenue and constant kind of microtransactions and new revenue streams and build. It's the way it's described. It wasn't just like we want to make amazing new Crazy Taxi. It's more we want to
need some money.
We want. Yeah, I mean, and obviously every business is that, but the way it's described is just, this doesn't sound very good at all.
They're describing it as global reach, online interactivity, community building, and IP utilisation. It's, to achieve those aims.
I love those things.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that I thought when I read it. Crazy Taxi is a funny game.
For about 5 minutes.
Someone says to you, do you like Crazy Taxi? Who says no? Absolutely no one. Everyone loves Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, loved it.
Really good fun. Yeah, amazing. Totally. Yeah, totally agree with you. you got Crazy Taxi in front of you, I guarantee you'll play it for about 5 minutes and then stop.
Mm-hmm.
It happens every time. Like, I boot it up and I'm like, yeah, Crazy Taxi. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to pick that guy up. Here we go.
You want to go make some crazy money, but only for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I know. And then you're going, okay, that was Crazy Taxi then.
Yeah, you get that little hit of like, yeah, I remember this, and then it very quickly just it's like, yeah, I remember this.
Really good fun in the arcades and all that, and then playing it like back in the day, like in the front room, it was like, oh my god, it's that game from the arcade, and I'm playing it now. But then that was kind of it. Were there other levels?
In the first game, I don't think so. No.
Right, I'm just thinking maybe there's this whole depth to this game that I never.
And they got
knew
rid of the
existed.
music as well, didn't they? And all the re-releases.
When they tried to reboot it or whatever. But like,
and they got rid of Pizza Hut.
Also, with Crazy Taxi, if they announced a new one now, you'd go, it better do something different. Like, it can't just be. There better be some sort of gritty story behind the whole thing. Yeah,
it can't be though, because the whole thing was it was all just like loud in your face and just like
Well, it's got to have a soundtrack. Imagine it doesn't have a soundtrack. Like, well, half of it was that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So, what would the soundtrack be now? Because obviously, it wouldn't be Offspring and Bad Religion because they're
of Offspring.
Well, after that, that's just it.
They're still going.
Well, they're still going, but they're a band for old men now, Dave. We're old.
They would have to use the same soundtrack, otherwise, because that was so synonymous with it.
No,
there's no way you can't.
No, but
it's a new one.
Anyone like in their 20s would probably struggle to name an Offspring song at this point. Like,
but anyone in their 20s is not going to play Crazy Taxi, are they?
No, they won't play Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Jack.
Can we please call this episode Crazy Craxy?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Matthew. I don't know who's the equivalent. Who's like the punk? Who's punk?
I honestly,
it'll be Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh God, it will. Yeah,
Avril Lavigne. Yeah, Avril Lavigne's new. I mean, basically anything produced by Travis Barker.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is punk. You having a laugh?
I mean, arguably, yes, but let's not get into it.
Let's not.
Do you want to know the other games that they're also talking about bringing back?
Yes, please.
Go on. Sonic.
Space Channel 5 was one of them.
Okay. Oh, who wants that?
No one wants that. Res, I mean, that's already been done. I mean,
everyone wants that.
Recently.
No, a proper Res sequel. You telling me that wouldn't be a big deal? That'd be a big deal.
Panzer Dragoon.
There's no better time for a Res sequel, is there? Because people have just had, like, Tetris Effect was such a big deal.
It was a big one, yeah.
And to do some of the stuff they could do now visually, I bet it'd look incredible like a new Res.
Yeah, man.
Yes, please.
I'll be well up for that.
I'm. You may roll your eyes and huff, James, but I'm up for that.
I'm not huffing. I'm just saying there was one not that long ago.
I heard a huff, mate.
I mean, we've sort of skipped over Jet Set Radio, right? Because that's potentially a big deal. Again, it's another one that when you go back to it, so actually these controls are horrendous.
It's a lot of work.
Because I love those games when they first came out, particularly the soundtrack because it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing it back now is horrible.
Well, it's doable. If they get it right, it's doable, though. That is a series that they could make work, for sure.
Yeah, but also Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is already happening. And that's basically, I can't remember who's making it. It's an indie team, I think. And it's basically yeah, it is Jet Set Radio. Yeah. Well, it's basically like Sega don't appear to be making one, so we'll make one instead. And it's even got Hideki Nakanuma on the soundtrack. So
didn't they go to Sega and say, look, we'll do this? Like, just
did they
give us the license and we'll do this? And look, and then they were like, no, we're not interested. And then
oh wow,
then this happened. And but then we've also got
the thing is, like, those IPs don't link into what they've said they want to do with these super games. Like they've mentioned they want to make 100 billion yen a year, which I think is $900 million a year.
Everyone wants to make that, mate. That's not an announcement. Everyone wants to make 100 billion.
But they've mentioned games like Fortnite. They want to turn these games into global brands, into like multimedia, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Matt, are you telling me that Altered Beast, a new one of those, is not going to do that?
You know what? You got me there, James.
Because that's on the list.
That's on the list. Grave.
Do you remember how
fucking... All right, well, Sega are being nuts then. Okay, Sega are just sounded off for a moment. Fine.
I was just going to say, like, do you remember how fucking good it was playing Jet Set Radio and being able to pull your own images in to use as graffiti? I mean, do not do that now. The state of the internet being what it is. But yeah, at the time, that was amazing.
What did you put in port?
My band logo. Because I was in a band.
How's this not come
How
up?
did we not? I didn't know this
Okay,
before.
right. Well, everyone settling. We're going to find out some stuff about Sean. Sean, what was the band name?
The band name was Hair Fraud.
That does sound like some sort of German punk band. Okay.
Is hair fraud 2 words?
It is, yes.
What sort of scene were you in, Sean?
Well, we were trying to be Mogwai, so we were doing just sort of very repetitive sort of instrumental stuff that never really took off, to be honest.
No, it didn't.
No.
You mean you didn't get well famous over
No.
it? What instrument did you play?
Guitar.
Nice.
Mm.
Can you remember any of it?
Do
Have you got any recordings?
you know? I don't know if we have.
Because
I'm
I
That
used
sounds
to
like
create.
he does, actually.
Yeah,
I
that
used to
sounds like.
create-
Yes, they have.
trying to think.
They've got the whole lot on Blu-ray.
We might still have a MySpace page, technically.
I used to create hip hop beats.
Oh, yeah.
So if you find one of your
Oh my God, we
songs,
can collab.
I'll try and find one of mine, and we'll have a song on. From when I was at
That'd be a hell
college,
of a
the
bonus
hip-
show.
it would, wouldn't it?
We did. I remember the one thing we're more likely to have a recording of was we, like, as a joke, like, so halfway through our show we do. It was supposed to be like a piss take of like new metal, so it was supposed to be like a Slipknot parody.
Oh yeah.
And
Matt be fuming.
we had a. Go on.
I've got questions already. I mean,
So we all donned like boiler suits that we found in a it was like a paintball place near where we lived. It's just in these woods, and we found a load of discarded boiler suits. So we put them on.
Were they discarded? Or
Oh,
did you
God.
feed them?
Yeah, they absolutely stunk.
Jesus.
Yeah, we had one song for that act that was called "Bike with a Spike," which you'll never guess where the spike was.
Oh, I'm the bot.
Yep. And
Very
Can we have some
Slipknot.
more song titles?
well, that was the only one for like the new metal piss take thing. Like, oh fuck,
Right.
what were the others called? I can't remember. We had
Sean, Sean, we've already got about 20 episode titles. Please save these. You can't blow everything in one episode. There's too many good ones.
We had one song called Mexican Cop.
I wonder where you're going with that, but okay.
Oh fuck, what were the others? No, I'm drawing a blank. I'll have a think. I'll see if I can dig anything up because that's good bonus show material.
Oh my God, how long have I known you?
God,
And
do you know,
this
if
has
there's
only
any
just
of this,
come out.
if there's any, Sean, if you can find any, can we do listening? Like, can we do like a listening or whatever on like the bonus show?
Yeah, man. I mean, we
That'd be brilliant.
weren't good.
Where did you get that idea, James?
Fuck off.
Did you get it from the fact that me and Matt had just been saying that for the past 5 minutes? And that was really. I can't wait for
It
you
was
to
an
listen to
original
that
idea.
back.
Leave him alone.
Come on. Right, okay. Is that? Oh yeah, Jet Set Radio's coming back. Right, next story.
Okay, so the next I've got. Okay, so there's also been some new releases that are coming that I thought I'd just throw in. We've got Sega's Sonic Origins Retro Collection is coming in June. On June 23rd.
The collection
actually.
of Sonic games.
Yeah, it's another one of those ones where they're releasing yet again.
How many
Although
times?
this one though does apparently have Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, which most of these collections never have because of the whole music issues. That there are with that.
So I was thinking, maybe I could play those games again, but I can already play them on the Xbox and the Switch at the moment. Like I've got all of those games. It's so weird.
Yeah, but these come with loads of bonuses, like a soundtrack and 100 coins or whatever that bloody chart told everyone.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
pay
yeah, there's
if you
that
pay
weird
for
chart,
the
wasn't it?
various versions, then you get that. I mean, if you
Were
want to
people
pay,
getting angry about people slagging off that chart? I can't remember.
yeah, there was anger at the chart, and then there was anger about anger at the chart. You see, for some reason, but yeah, I don't know.
Man, Sonic the Hedgehog. Wow. Okay. The second film's alright, It's decent. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Next.
Then
Sorry, that's the new segment we've got on this show, David's movie reviews. Enjoy that once a week. I will be reviewing a film. Enjoy that.
From the
Go on.
silver screen.
Go on.
And then the only other thing we had was that Splatoon 3 has now got a date. It's coming on September 9th.
Yeah.
Squidding.
But also, do you remember there was that Octo? You probably don't remember. There was the Octo expansion DLC.
Yeah.
that has now been added to Switch Online as well, so you can get that for nothing now, which is
what, for the last one?
Yeah,
for Splatoon 2.
Right, okay. That was single player. Was that single player?
It was a whole campaign.
Yeah. So you can download that now.
It was fucking difficult though.
Yeah, I found like the main campaign was quite difficult in that game towards the end.
Yeah, there's some really daft stuff in the DLC. The DLC, you know, when like, you know, back in the day when you get expansions for PC games, and it was basically like in terms of difficulty, it would carry on where the end of the main game left off. So like, if you just like, you'd get a game like, oh, here's an expansion, I'll try that first, and it was just fucking impossible. That's what the Octo expansion is like. Yeah.
Shame. All right then. Okay, is that it for the news?
That's it. That's all I've got. Got nothing else.
Mega.
Cool. Let's get on to what you've been playing, Matthew.
Yeah, I've only played one game and I haven't quite finished it, but I've been playing Norco. I know you mentioned it recently, Sean, and I wanted to play it a few weeks ago, but just, you know, I was playing Kirby. But Norco, it's out on a PC Game Pass. It's the first PC Game Pass game I've actually played, and my god, the Xbox app is awful.
It's not great.
It's awful
is it?
on PC. You click things and you're like, has this even clicked? Has it worked? But anyway, I got it to download because I was going to buy it on Steam after hearing good things, and crucially, I also heard it wasn't that long. So I thought, okay, I'll play Norco. But I went to go get on Steam. It was like £12, and then I heard actually no, it's on Xbox Game Pass, so, you know, free with a subscription. Well chuffed for that. Norco is
like crystal on the Atari. Wow. Okay, so I'm looking at screenshots. Go on.
Yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous, but it's basically a pixel art, a point-and-click adventure. It's by it's a collective of people called Geography of Robots, and this is actually their first game. And the writer and designer and maybe like head of that company or group, he was actually born and raised in Norco, which is it's in America. I think it might be in Louisiana.
It's Louisiana, I think. Yeah.
So this story, you play as a character called Kay who had like left Norco years ago and seemingly didn't want to come back, and was happy to kind of live on the road and not really have anything to do with her home. But then her mum dies and her brother goes missing. So this story is basically about that, learning about her mother, trying to find her brother. And gameplay switches between you playing as Kay to find out what's happening, and also switching between her mother in the lead up to her death. So it's really, really good. I mean, I haven't played a point-and-click adventure for well, I guess probably since Disco Elysium. I know it's not technically the same; that's more of a CRPG. But this kind of game I haven't played for a long time. But like the writing is really good. I mean, it really brings in some kind of like sort of southern states or North America kind of twang to the proceedings. Like each of the characters you meet, people around town who Kay used to know when she lived there, or people who knew her relatives or her mother, her brother. They're all true individuals who, like, I guess you can tell really easy that the people who make this game like grew up there and lived this experience, because it writing wise is excellent. And yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous pixel art. It's so atmospheric. I mean, you have so many games these days which are obviously incredibly realistic. You look at things like Horizon Forbidden West and other games recently, but this is, and it's probably harsh to say just pixel art, but what they managed to do to convey emotion in scenes and some of the lighting is absolutely gorgeous for a game which is pixel art.
Because I just to
Matt, can I ask? Sorry,
no, go on.
What I'd like to know, because this is like a point and click like adventure game in the sense of it's dialogue based, right? As in you're having conversations with people. Is it also puzzle based? Is there like puzzles and okay.
So there are some puzzles. I wouldn't say puzzle based. It's mostly kind of dialogue, really. There's a few puzzles. There's a few QTEs. Most of them are kind of like the same style. There's and so there's multiple characters that you meet, and then they join your party. And if they do a puzzle or some combat or a QTE, it's in like their chosen style. Like one person, it's basically like a memory game. We see like 5 icons on screen, and you look at the order in which they're lit up. The icons disappear, and you have to click those 3, 4, 5 in the same way that they're lit up previously. Okay. Another person, their QTE or combat mechanic is that there are some like circles that shrink down. You have to click at the right time, so on and so forth. So there have been a bunch of puzzles, and it does that classic kind of point and click adventure thing where this thing is locked, you don't know how to get to that thing, and then you get something else. Oh, that's opened this, that means I can now access that. And
but so, it's not like pick up this basketball, this coat hanger, and a telephone, and then combine them together to like create.
No.
Oh, thank for that. Okay.
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, you have like an inventory. We might have like a 2 or 3 items, but no, it's pretty simple. And like, I've got an item at the moment. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. So you just open the inventory menu and you can like drag it over parts of the screen you're currently on to see if it does anything. But most of the other stuff, it's kind of obvious where it needs to go. Or you might discover something where you're like, okay, I need this. And so as soon as you get that thing, you're like, oh, I have to go back there because I've got this thing now. It's not obtuse in that, the whole combining things you wouldn't possibly even think about combining.
See, looking at the screenshots, this does look superb. It looks exactly like the sort of thing that I'd be interested in.
I was going to say, like, just to back Matt up on the pixel art stuff. So I started following the developers on Twitter a while ago purely because someone had retweeted like some of the art from the game, and it was like in the preview, like the thumbnail on Twitter. I was like, oh, what a beautiful painting. And then upon clicking it and bring it full size, I was like, oh fuck, it's pixel art. But like shrunken down, it just looked like just like an incredible illustration. So it's insane how good this looks. I need to play it. I need to sort that out.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. Like music wise, it's got a great kind of central theme song, and then that goes around the whole game. But it is kind of science fiction-y as well. Like, so in this town of NORCO, it's overshadowed by this massive oil refinery, and basically everyone in the town either works there or knows someone who works there. But it's really about, there's like a mystery about the people behind the refinery, what that's all about, who are they, what are they doing. There's also loads of, there's some sci-fi in there as well. There's loads of androids and that kind of technology in the town as well, and some other stuff I'm not going to mention. So it kind of straddles it kind of combines some sci-fi stuff in terms of androids and some other technologies in the town with what looks like quite an old school US town with like oil refineries, and it doesn't seem very kind of technically minded. It's not like huge skyscrapers everywhere. It's kind of a sleepy town, but with all this technology in there as well, and it's really, really good. There's also this there's a cult there with there's loads of like lads that call themselves the Garrett. Everyone in this group or this cult is called Garrett. There's some really, really funny stuff in there. I mean, so I'm in Act 3. It's only like a 3-act game. I'm probably only played like 4 and a bit hours or so. So it's not a terribly long game, but the characters are great. The writing is really atmospheric. Like the writing alone, let alone the music and the pixel art. And I'm really enjoying it so far. Cool. It's only out, I think, on PC, like Steam or Xbox.
It's out on Mac as well. Which is,
on Mac, of course.
I might download it.
I don't think it's on Xbox, is it? I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not on console. No, it's just PC and Mac at the moment.
Yeah. How much is it on Mac?
€15 on. Well, I don't know what that is in pounds. On
I'm
Mac.
sure it'd be like, if it's 12 quid on Steam, I'm sure it'd be around the same price.
Oh yeah.
I saw some people in the Steam forums asking about iPads, and they've got nothing to announce yet. This would work amazingly well on iPad or Steam Deck or console, so I've no doubt it will come to other platforms as well. But,
I hope there's a resurgence of point-and-click adventures, because there's such a place for them now, and games can, like, even just like, they don't even need to be that long. Like that Locomotive, which turns out to be a bit of a beta, I guess, like, or an early release, the one that I played. Just playing that, and it was only a couple of hours long, and I love little experiences like that. Do you know what I mean? They don't have to be that long. They're really good. Like, I don't know. There's something so satisfying about a good point-and-click adventure.
There's been,
especially.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, especially when, as Matt, as you said, this looks so like the pixel art stuff can create such amazing like sort of atmosphere, like in a game as well. And
massively so, yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, point-and-click adventures have sort of, there's been plenty of like indie ones ticking over in the background, but it's been a while since there's been. I mean, you could argue, is Disco Elysium kind of one?
Yeah, I would say it is. I would definitely say it is. Yeah.
And obviously, the new Monkey Island stuff is really exciting. Broken Age was great.
Oh, that's right.
Broken Age was really good. I really enjoyed that. There's been quite a few.
Yeah. After playing this makes me want to actually properly play through Kentucky Route Zero, which I played for episode 1 when it was like a Kickstarter or whatever it was back in.
I remember that. Yeah,
I don't know, 2010 or something, or maybe earlier than that. Who knows? But then the whole thing's out now as like the TV edition, and I'm sure it's on Game Pass and all the other.
Do you know what's nuts
platforms.
is that you bought it for all of us for like £4 each.
Yeah,
and because you bought it like right at the start, we've had the whole thing just like trickling over in our Steam account. We could just download the whole game like for free because you paid £4 for it.
Yeah, and I think they upgraded everyone to like the TV edition and all sorts. So yeah, from that initial early thing, you did get all the episodes, but they then upgraded all that as well to like the proper all bells and whistles one. But yeah, once I get this finished, it does make me want to kind of play more of these kinds of things because it's just a joy to be part of that world.
Did you play much as a kid, Matt?
No, I mean I played the second or third Monkey Island, the Curse of Monkey Island, played that, but no, I didn't play much of that stuff at all, really.
So weird. It's like for me, I've missed out on some of the best point and click adventures. That people cite. Is it Day of the Tentacle?
Yeah. Day of the Tentacle. Sam and Max Hit the Road.
Sam and Max Hit the Road.
Really
never
brilliant.
played that one.
Yeah.
What was the other really good one?
Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango. Never
good.
played that one. Yeah, I did play Discworld 1, 2, and Discworld Noir.
Yeah.
And also, as I mentioned earlier, The Crystal, which was one on the Atari ST. And wait, I've just looked it up. Do you want to hear the plot summary?
Go on.
The player takes the role of a pirate named Dancis Frake. I mean,
okay, subtle.
On a mission to cover the Crystal, spelt with a K, on behalf of Kring of Meltoka. The game features a number of different classic game genres merged: fighting, spaceflight combat, and, to a limited extent, LucasArts style point-and-click adventuring. Listen to this makes me laugh. The game was reviewed in 1989 in Dragon episode volume 152 by Hartley, Patricia, and Kirk Lesser in the role of the computers column. It says the reviewers gave the game a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Computer Gaming World gave the game a very negative review, citing poor controls and action sequences. And I like this. This is a quote from that review. The Crystal is virtually unplayable, except to master arcade gamers that might have the time and patience for the, in quotes, challenge. Man, I played some shit games when I was a kid.
We all did, didn't we?
See, I loved point and click adventures. I played so many on PC, during the heyday of all that stuff, especially the LucasArts ones, because they had that design philosophy of you're not allowed to kill the player, you can't die, in those games, and that was really good. Because I'd also played a load of the Sierra ones as well, like Space Quest and the King's Quest games, which were not good games, really. At all.
Look,
did you play the Broken Sword games, James?
Yeah, I played those as well. Yeah, they
I played all three of them. They were great.
But you see, I've always had this weird relationship with them because you see, I love the story aspect of these things, but the puzzle stuff
bits.
I've always found irritating. It's just.
But that's the thing is you can go back and you can play them all with a walkthrough if you need it. So.
Yeah, you can follow a YouTube video.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, if I may be permitted to seamlessly segue onto my thing that I was going to talk about, because I've just been playing Elden Ring, basically. But I was just going to mention that, so a couple of weeks ago, my Retroid Pocket 2 Plus finally turned up after about 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, because I remember, obviously, Dave, you were talking about your emulation handheld that you got a few months back. And I'd ordered this around the same time, and it's just taken fucking ages to show up. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Obviously, I've put GBA stuff, PlayStation stuff, Dreamcast stuff on it, which is all well and good. But I've actually found it I've played a bit of Curse of Monkey Island on it because it's just an Android device, so it's got Scum VM on it, which I didn't realise. I thought Scum VM was literally just for games made in the Scum engine, so you basically your LucasArts point and clicks. But I didn't realise it's expanded way further than that.
Yeah,
it basically
for any of those sorts of things.
Any sort of you sort of old sort of PC adventure games or point and click games. So I've got Little Big Adventure and Zork Grand Inquisitor and stuff on there as well. But it's been a really nice way to revisit Curse of Monkey Island. So I'm probably going to get the first two on there as well. And do that sort of first trilogy, because let's pretend there wasn't a fourth one, because I gather it was shite. So yeah, it's been a really nice way to revisit those, because especially as well, like, because the artwork in Curse of Monkey Island was gorgeous, but it's 640 by 480, right? So played on any sort of modern display is like, ugh. Although someone, I don't know if you saw this, someone tweeted they've done that AI shit on like a load of the background illustrations from Curse of Monkey Island, and it looks incredible. To just up-res it all, yeah, really nice. But
I'd love to play the second one again. That was such a good game, especially the ending.
Well,
it was one of the best ever.
But so playing, so revisiting like Curse of Monkey Island on a handheld with a 640 by 480 screen is perfect, because it just looks amazing. So yeah, that's been really lovely. I don't know if I'll just do like a quick stream or a video just showing it off, maybe. That might be interesting to some people. But yeah.
I mean, staying with that stuff, recently I loaded Rhythm Paradise on my one recently. My word, there's a series that I'd like to see make its way to Switch.
Yeah, man.
Just incredibly good fun. It's like,
and there's nothing else like it. There's no equivalent to play. Do you know what I mean? There's no.
Well, no, the closest thing you could get to it is WarioWare. Yeah. But this feels a lot more not important, but more of a game than WarioWare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's just James. Have you ever played these games?
No, I haven't.
Mate, you would absolutely love them.
So
like,
good.
Honestly, they're so clever. So basically, they're very simple rhythm action games, like very, very simple rhythm action games. But the whole point is that the game, at all times, is trying to trick you. Like, that's the whole thing. So, like, you could complete most levels by not looking at the screen, because it is literally 1, 2, 3, press the button in time, like in time with the rhythm every time. But if you're looking at the screen, sometimes the camera just pans away from what, like the visual clues and all that sort of stuff. You've just got to remember.
It sometimes helps not to look at the screen as well, doesn't it? Because the
yeah.
visual stuff is there to throw you off.
Sometimes, James, it's a rhythm action game where the music just goes completely silent for a bit, and you've still got to keep in time with the rhythm. Like, it's
all like
so
it's
clever.
all just contextual stuff. So it's all, like all these weird sort of cartoony situations happening. So like most music games, it's either like here's like a note chart that you have to follow, or it's like a call and answer thing. So like the game does a pattern and then you copy it. Whereas this is just like there are a line of 3 monkeys. You are the third monkey. Clap when it's your turn.
Did these games come out before Wario or what?
No, it was after the original WarioWare, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yes, I think it was, because the original Wario was GBA.
Yeah, the first Risen Tengoku was GBA as well.
Wasn't it? That's the version that I'm playing.
Though, I mean, I don't know if you've still got 3DS knocking about, Dave, but
I think I have somewhere. But
the one they did
I remember
for that
that
is
I
amazing.
played that one. Is that the one where the mini game that sticks in my head is where there's like it's a factory and these square wooden blocks are going along, and you had to poke a hole in the middle of them.
I'm just watching a trailer now for the 3DS version called like Rhythm Heaven Megamix.
Yeah, that's the one. It's basically like a greatest hits collection.
It took like the best ones from the previous games and stuff.
Really good.
Just bring one out for the Switch, please.
Yep. I mean, because it's a shame, because that Megamix one, I think, was sort of implying, like, look, this is it. Like, this is us looking back on the series, picking out the best ones, and here you go. It's, the best of, which to me suggests they ain't doing anymore, and that's a real shame.
It just looks like it'd be perfect for Switch.
Yeah, man. So good.
Yeah, it would be.
I guess they've just released that WarioWare one, so maybe in 12 months or more, they'll do this.
Yeah. I just don't think it'll have a big enough audience, to be honest with you. That's probably what's putting them off. But even if it's just a re-release of that 3DS one, but where where it's just using...
because it doesn't need the 2 screens, does it? I don't think.
No, it doesn't need a lot of work either. Nope. As I said, like most of those in the remix one, it's the games that it's from the games where there wasn't 2 screens. So
GBA ones and stuff. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
You have got another game written down though. Oh no, you haven't. Nope. That's the Pocket thing. Anything else?
Nope. I mean, Sea of Thieves, but
I have finished the main story in Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, and if you're asking, as I mentioned last week, I was looking forward to getting into the free play, because that's where I think I enjoy these games the most. And if you're wondering if this lives up to it, it absolutely does. Mm-hmm. It absolutely does. I mean, there's just a ridiculous... I mean, there is too much to collect, and they take the piss with the in-game currency. Like, I don't think you can buy in-game currency. You've got to earn it all, but they take the piss with it. Like if I wanted to buy a Star Destroyer or something, it's like 3 million studs, and I've never had anywhere close to that. Like, and I've played through the entire game. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. But just going and visiting the locations that I was breezing through to get to the end of the story again, and finding all these brilliant little puzzles, these funny little moments when you're switching characters. If you're next to each other, like sometimes they interact with each other. Like if you're Luke Skywalker and because obviously you've got to have two at all times because it's built for co-op. So if you've got Luke Skywalker active and Darth Vader active, they like make comments about ruling the galaxy together. Well, like the moment they pop up on the screen together and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's not a game that I'm looking at going, I'm going to 100% this, because I have not got enough time. It's too much stuff to do. But I am quite happy just popping along to these locations and seeing how beautiful they are, and then just doing a few really simple puzzles. I think sometimes it goes a little bit... it tries to do more with the side quests than it needs to do. Like, so you'll talk to one character and they'll say, hey, I need you to go and pick up the bounties from these people. And it says, do you want to track this side mission? You go, yes. And you realise there's like one on 3 different planets.
Right.
And you just think, actually, this should all be in the space that I'm in. I shouldn't have to go to various different planets to go, because it's not that quick to go from planet to planet. There's loading screens, there's getting to your ship, there's selecting the planet, there's loading screens, there's, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And it's kind of like, oh, come on, I don't really need to do this for a little side quest for one of your Kyber bricks or whatever you want to call them. So, yeah, that's a little bit frustrating. But then, I'm not trying to 100% it, so I'm just not going to do that stuff. So I just ignore when they go, oh, no, you have to go to this planet. I go, okay, untrack that one. Let's go on to a different side mission then. And also, my word, the stuff in space is just so much fun. It's insanely good fun. Firstly, it looks stunning. At times you forget that things are made out of Lego, like it looks that good. The fact that there are God knows how many spaceships to choose from. You just buy them or unlock them. And then you can just select them and fly around in whatever you want. But I mean, I told you on the stream last night, but I'll tell you here, I was absolutely blown away. So I'm flying around in space, and then a Star Destroyer is right next to me, and it says side mission, take down the Star Destroyer. And all its defences. So you're flying over it, and there's TIE fighters just trying to shoot you down or whatever, but you're flying over it and you're taking out all the turrets, you're taking out all the radars, all of that stuff, and eventually it gets to 0 health, this Star Destroyer. And I thought, okay, that's that mission done. Went to fly away, and it was like, it went to a cutscene, and it said, right, well, you know, the Star Destroyer's damaged now, let's dock and find the commander. And suddenly I'm running around inside of it, trying to find the commander, having big like lightsaber battles with everyone, just going, this is fantastic. Like, this is exactly what I want. And just incredible, like, fun. Charlie is obsessed with it. Like, we play it together, no problems, not getting frustrated playing with him. We're just doing our own thing. The only did I say this last night when he selected Darth Vader? Or was this last week? This was last week, wasn't it? When he selected Darth Vader and I selected Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably last week. Hello. He keeps doing that. He'll select a new character and he goes, hello, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. What's your name? And I go, I'm Luke Skywalker. Oh, hello, Luke Skywalker. We're best friends. It's like, yes, mate. And then we're just rocking about in our little planet, just hitting things and getting studs and that. I love it. I'm really, really enjoying my time with it. I'm not done with it yet, and I probably should be.
Have you delved much into all the massive skill trees and upgrade paths and stuff?
I mean, as I told you before, it's nothing really. I mean, I found the core. In fact, actually, I did find another thing to upgrade. So you've got your core abilities, which I've mentioned before, but then there's a completely different menu that you can spend your things in, and that's all things like game modification stuff. So you've got your, each stud is worth twice as much. You could play one where everyone speaks like old school Lego games where everyone's like mumbling rather than fully voice acted. It's all that sort of stuff. Black and white mode, I think, is in there, all that sort of shit. Yeah. And there's enough like gags along the way as well, there's a lot of funny comments and this, that and the other. It's just, James, you're going to love this, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting until Asher comes home so I can play it, because we started playing it together and then, we went away, so I'm waiting for that.
I mean, the only thing that I can suggest is, I don't know the correct way of playing it, because usually with a game like this, you're like breeze through the story stuff, then get to the collectible stuff. But in this game, you can't breeze through the story stuff because it's 9 fucking films. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at least 20 hours of gaming there before you get to the stuff that you'll really enjoy. And it's not like the story stuff is bad. It's just a bit repetitive. These games are only real, I only really get into them when you go into the discovery mode, where you start like exploring and finding little bits and pieces to do and new characters to talk to. I don't know. Weird. But my feeling towards that game has gone up a lot since completing it.
I want us to go back to it, because I said we played a little bit and then went on to Kirby. But I think we will play some, especially I think we need to get our time in now before Switch Sports might take over the house.
It is. Well, that's this week, right? Friday.
This Friday,
yeah. Well, the thing is with I mean, as I say, Charlie is now fully into Star Wars. Like, he's asking me to read. I read him the kids' book about Return of the Jedi. Return of the, what is it called? Fuck. What's the really good one?
The Last Jedi.
A New Hope?
No, the Return of the Jedi. The second one.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. That's it. Empire Strikes Back.
In the end, didn't we?
That's the really good one. Yeah. Fucking hell.
David, did you watch the films?
I winged it.
Oh no!
Is this where
he X-winged it?
Oh man,
I winged the whole thing. I haven't seen any of them. Sorry, James. I made it all up.
Oh, okay. Still, the show was good, so it's fine.
Yeah, okay, we got away.
Well, no, it's okay, James. I will take them off like you requested at the start, so they're gone now.
Oh my god, they're really upset about that, aren't they? That we're not just going to give them our format, James. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
James, you're going well quiet. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just... That's fine. Go on, just continue.
You're bored, are you?
No, I'm not bored.
You're done?
I'm not. Look, for fuck's sake. This annoys me, but I don't want to talk. Just forget it.
Go on.
No, Dave, if I don't say anything for like a short period of time, then it's like, oh, you're bored. Other people don't say anything for ages. No comment. No comments whatsoever.
When I go to them, they don't go, yeah.
But I've got, but what you're saying is not that interesting, so I've got nothing exciting to say.
There we go, James.
That's the James we know I love. It's your turn. What have you got for us, James?
I've got nothing really. I mean, the only thing...
Unbelievable.
No, the only thing I've got is...
Be fair, we've all had... Well, no, Matt had an actual new game to talk about, the rest of us...
All I've got is a game that I've finished, and I've got no desire to talk about it any further than I already have, to be honest. I mean, I finished Horizon Forbidden West, and it's a 7 out of 10 game, and it's fine, but I've got no desire whatsoever to go back to it and play any more. And I mean, as you said, Matt, it is the visuals that keep you kind of going through that game, because it's just too long. It's far too long, and it could have been so much better if it was about half the length and with a map which was about half the size. And,
how long was it?
I think I spent about 40 hours by the end. I think it was.
Wow, which is a shame because obviously 40 hours is okay. It's long, but it's not unthinkable in big AAA game terms.
No,
but the fact that it clearly feels longer than that, right?
But that's the thing. It feels a lot longer than 40 hours. Like it feels ridiculously longer than that.
That's the crazy shit with Elden Ring, isn't it? It's like you plan it and it's like, I've barely scratched the surface. How long? 40 hours, is it? Like how? How has that happened?
And it doesn't. It's not out. Like, despite being longer than like any other game I've played in years, it's not outstaying its welcome yet. And as you say, I'm still open to the idea of like if I just get sick of it, I'm free to stop playing it, right? I'm not determined to finish it necessarily. It's just it's consistently done so many cool and interesting things that I'm happy to keep going.
James, I asked you this a few weeks ago when you were playing it, but did you finish Kotalo's side missions?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
You did, yeah.
It's all right.
I thought I had to do it. That last one I had to do for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone who's played it knows where that's going, but no. I thought that was the only one that was really worth doing, but the rest wasn't for me. But I'm glad it's over, James. I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, it's just strange because, as I said, like whenever I was playing it, there was something that kept me going back, and it did like kept me playing it.
The Sony logo. Have you missed me, James?
Can we talk about something else now? Because I just don't
Questions. If you want to send us a question, you can go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Geen has done that. You say, Dear TCGS, I recently learned how to reliably perform T-spins in Tetris and now find myself envisioning building the perfect well and twisting a T-block with a satisfying click at the most inappropriate of times. Which video game mechanics have creeped into your brains and had you fantasizing about them at all hours of the day?
Oh my God. I mean, Jesus, that feeling when you get it. I've not nailed it to the point where I could just set one up
on command.
Like always have like a proper panic on. But yeah, especially in Tetris Effect where it just goes, it's like that sweet little like that was an awful sound. No, it's more satisfying than that. It's like a whoosh click sound, and you're like, oh, I've got it right. I've done it. I've T-spinned it.
In terms of so video game mechanics that have creeped into your brains and had you fantasizing. Occasionally, this is completely idiotic, but occasionally I just think, can people double jump? Because it's one of those things that makes no fucking sense, and yet it's so consistently in games. Do you think, what if it just turns out that everyone knows something I don't? I've just never tried.
I'm sure I've seen videos on like Twitter or somewhere where like someone's like, "Did this basketball player, double jump?" I've seen videos where people have done this.
Michael. You talk about Michael Jordan, right?
I don't know. It was a basketball player. I don't know who they were.
Was it Bugs Bunny from Space Jam? Because he probably did double jump.
Bugs Bunny from Space Jam, who I recently learned gets top billing in Space Jam above Michael Jordan.
What Bugs Bunny does? Well, yeah, naturally. I mean, Bugs Bunny, like Michael Jordan was good at basketball and everything, but Bugs Bunny, come on.
Yeah, he's a timeless icon.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, Michael Jordan is kind of as well, but yeah, I get why he was
tried to play baseball instead. That was weird.
In fact, that alone was why he was below Bugs Bunny.
It's such a great thing because I was into basketball as a kid and then like found out like. It's like, oh yeah, Michael Jordan, best basketball player on the earth, at one point briefly went to play baseball, and you kind of think, oh right, what, can you just do that? Was he not really bad at it? Yeah, he was, and then he moved back to basketball.
Was it like when Harry Kane went in goal? Did you ever hear about that, Sean? Harry Kane is no doubt going to become England's top goal scorer of all time. Right? He's still relatively young and he's banging them in for England every time he plays, right? Absolutely incredible. He once went in goal for Tottenham because they didn't have a substitute goalkeeper and their goalkeeper got sent off. First thing he had to do was stop a free kick from like ages out. The guy just had a shot anyway and it slipped through his legs and into the back of the net. Like, it was the most pathetic attempt at a save ever. And you go, yeah, you're one of the best athletes this country has ever produced, but you're shitting goal.
Stay in your lane, mate.
Absolutely shitting goal. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really got an answer for this that I haven't already said.
That's the thing, because I always think about the climbing stuff. I think about climbing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I always think about. But
I used to think about that when we were playing Crackdown a lot, James. You'd be like, is that a grabbable ledge?
Yeah.
That window? Is there enough of a like? Because some windows you could grip onto, and some you couldn't in Crackdown.
Yeah, when I played loads of, I absolutely love Crackdown 2. I know like no one else really enjoyed it, but
I love it whenever you bring this up. We all reminisce about Crackdown, and you're still banging on about Crackdown 2.
Yeah, I missed the boat on the first one, but loved the second one. But yeah, I did the same thing. Where every single ledge or like balcony on a flat, I'm like, I could probably climb onto that, couldn't I?
Like that's
a climbable height.
The cool thing, isn't it, about games like that have like an interesting like movement mechanic or whatever, and they're set in like, but basically real life. Like Jet Set Radio, for example. Like you play a lot of that, and then you can walk around any city centre, and you start seeing lines. I get
that with Tony Hawk's.
It's like
Tony Hawk's. You're sitting there just going, I could do that curb and then up to there and manual. When really, I've only ever been on a skateboard once, right? And it just went from underneath me, and the next thing I knew it was flat on my face.
The things that skateboarders do are absolutely incredible. The most impressive thing to me is that they can stand on it without it just disappearing.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like the first time you start riding a bike and you're just thinking, this doesn't physically make sense in my head. How do people stay upright? This is bizarre. And then next thing you know, you're doing wheelies in the Tesco car park. Security guards are going, go on, come back in. You're going, oh, fuck you. Good times. Good times.
I mean, the thing I've been obsessed about was that time, after hammering so much Rock Band that I was seeing the notes.
Oh, yeah.
And Jill was like, stop tapping your foot in bed, because I was still kind of, doing the drum beats hours later, and I could close my eyes and still see the note charts, with my eyes closed.
It's incredible, isn't it? That, the human brain was, I was going to say, invented, but it was evolved
in
like a long time ago, and yet it can just go, Guitar Hero, yeah. What I'll do is, right, you play a load of Guitar Hero, and then when you're trying to sleep, I'll just keep fucking rehearsing that for you. Don't you worry about why is that a thing that our brains can do?
Yeah, it's kind of like when older OLED screens when they're burning, and I'm like, my brain's got burning. I've seen those charts for so long that I close my eyes and still see them.
I had that with the HUD for Halo 2.
Oh, yeah.
I remember because we obviously got the dodgy French version. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, you mean Le Halo 2?
Yeah. So you don't know this, Sean?
No.
Was this the one that came out earlier or something?
Yeah, it came out about 2 months before Halo 2 come out. You could download it and put it on disc. Mm-hmm. Someone put it on Rollmuck, I think, or they didn't, just in case the police are listening.
No, legally they didn't.
It might have been Edge. I can't even remember.
I think you might be dreaming this, Dave.
Edge put it on Rollmuck. Wow, that's
Edge uploaded it to their magazine. And I remember all you had to do was burn. If you had a chipped Xbox, you could just burn which I didn't. You could just burn it to a DVD and then play it, right? Yeah. And it was all in French. That's what, because that was the joke. That you'd be talking about bits of that, and you're saying, "Oh, do you remember when the Scarab come along?" And they went, "Oh, something in French,"
My chief went to La Banque.
I beg your pardon.
Filthy.
Bibliothèque.
Censor that, please.
He went to the bibliothèque.
Right, okay. I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's French words, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, that is for the library, which is a famous level, but in the
of course. Yeah.
There's a weight of intellect behind my...
No, there absolutely was no way you were thinking about the library level.
No, that was a lucky guess. I was just thinking of okay...
There's no way, don't even try
bibliothèque, bonk,
bonk.
Yeah.
Yeah, bank.
Well, obviously, bank. Yeah,
but bonk, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why everyone found French class so funny at school when the French teacher said, "Okay, now another word is le bonk."
The best thing in our French class was that they had the teacher had brought in French food and stuff, like packets of French food and left them around his desk or whatever. And one of them was called crapsy fruit, and we thought it was really funny.
Crapsy fruit. What was that?
It was a cereal, but just called crapsy fruit. I mean, I don't know why, but yeah,
amazing.
Tasted like shit.
I remember we had a German teacher, and she wasn't teaching German. We didn't learn German at school.
Well, it doesn't sound very good. She's a very good teacher.
She used to give out packs of what she called German bears. at the end of a week for the star pupil or whatever, little packs of these German gummy bear things.
Oh yeah.
And we used to go, well, these are incredible things. Like, oh my God, they're amazing. And then, like, I remember just being in a shop like 2 or 3 weeks after she started giving these out and just seeing packs of those bear Haribo things. Just going, they're the German bear
Same
things
ones.
that she just, what
Amazing.
the fuck? But it would be in German on the packet, but she would just get them from. I was like, these are the same. You could just buy them. I remember turning up and you could just buy them here. They're called Haribo.
Everyone, correct.
She should have been giving out knoppers.
She should
I'd
have
learned some.
knoppers.
I'd have learned some fucking German if there was knoppers on the menu.
Awesome. What is it? Marzipan, whoever the head of the Prime Minister is, or whatever they have over there. Where were we?
I don't know. Shall I do the next question?
What do you wear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sure.
Hokon Lingstad says, help. Sorry, not help, hep. Just one quick question. I've got a bet with a colleague. Do you wear your shoes around the house? All the best as always.
No way. Jesus.
No, I don't either. Chen would kill me if I do that.
Yes, because I like wearing my shoes, and I've never been a shoes off in the house
But
person.
those are shoes that are being outside the house, right?
Yeah, so what?
What?
Not that bad.
What do you mean? So what?
Mud and that, innit? And just
No. How often do you go running through mud?
Well, no, but there's still dirt on the pavement. Like, just walking out into your house here, Lid. I mean, no.
Yeah,
that's that's not even the angle I would take, right?
Yeah.
That's not even the angle that I would take because, whatever, you're going to do it at some point. But is it just more comfortable not to have shoes on? Surely it's more comfortable
absolutely
not to have them on.
No,
What,
barefoot's
slippers?
Bullshit.
memory foam slippers, Sean. You seem like a slippers
yeah,
guy
no,
anyway.
no, I've got
Slippers are
slippers.
clean.
I've got slippers.
But do you wear them outside?
No.
Okay.
What,
What are you doing
I
in
thought you
the
just
world?
walk around in socks.
Yeah, I
though.
prefer socks.
Or barefoot in the
It's
summer.
more comfortable.
Nah. How is that more comfortable? There's less cushioning between you and the floor.
Because you're not.
Yeah, but the floor's not
'cause it's
hard,
less
is it? It's
tight.
Yes, it is. Ours is. It's fucking laminate.
Oh right, yeah, well, yeah. I've vowed when we had laminate when we first moved in together, and we were like, yeah, laminate. We got to get laminate, and we vowed about a week later that we never wanted laminate again.
Yeah, I'm not
So we got
wild about it, to be
carpet
honest. I
everywhere
mean, it's fine, but like it's when Mara goes fucking clattering around on it. It's like she's not doing anything. She's just walking around and trying to watch a film, and you feel like, shut up. It's
Just like being on the floor every now and then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like being on the floor every now and then, and I can't do that with laminate.
You can still get a bit of floor time with laminate. Not wrong with
Yeah,
that.
but my arsehole would hurt. Not the hole. Sorry, the bony bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the hole will be fine.
The hole will be untouched.
Perfectly intact.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Ready to
to
party.
move.
I'm intrigued
Ready to party.
as to the nature of the bets that Hokon mentioned, because they got a bet with a colleague. Does that mean have they bet on whether most of us do or don't, or have they bet on
good
individual hosts?
Wouldn't it be wicked if you bet that only Sean wears shoes in the house?
Yeah, man. Someone's just wants
But
some
maybe
money.
that's the bet. And he's
Yeah.
like, absolutely. He's like, it's like when you see an hacker come in. And they're going, oh my God, I've just won £400. Or they've got an hacker on all of us saying, no, we don't wear shoes, and you're the one that's busted it.
That's
They're
true.
like, oh,
Fucked
Sean, I'm so
Ackerbuster.
close.
I don't know. I just don't feel dressed with that pair of shoes on. Like, obviously, if I'm if I get up and I'm in my pajamas, I'm not going to be like, right, let's get some fucking boots on before I get out of bed. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
not-
Do you get out of bed and not immediately put your shoes on?
No.
Showering. Have you got my shower shoes?
Also, I'm like to imagine these are like walking boots as well. Like they're really like heavy.
Steel toe cap boots.
When I get out of bed, obviously, if slippers are there, then they go on. But yeah, so once I'm in the shower, shoes on straight after.
So you're podcasting
Do you
right
go
now.
straight in the shower? Sorry. Good question first. You got shoes on now?
Yeah, of course.
That's madness. Okay.
While podcasting. My God.
Yeah.
Oh, you sick son of a... when you get up in the morning, do you go straight in the shower first?
Well, it depends. Obviously, if I'm on Isaac duties, then no, absolutely
Oh,
not.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, no, if news do in the morning, then yeah, I go straight in the shower.
Oh man, I don't do that. I've got to have my breakfast and that first. I wake up, coffee, breakfast before I go near the shower.
Because I can't enjoy my breakfast if I know I've got morning jobs to tick off
Absolutely,
first.
yeah, I'm totally with you there, Sean. No, I get all that stuff cleaned downstairs, then breakfast if I want some.
Yeah.
For sure.
What if you get a bit of breakfast on your face, though? On your mush?
I don't. It doesn't generally happen.
No? So just
Yeah,
me?
I'm not 5.
Dave's there just smashing his jam toast in his coffee.
Yeah, Nesquik. Putting a Nesquik up my nose.
You got some chocolate spread on your nose, David.
Getting it all over his shirt.
I love nothing more than getting them shoes off as soon as I get indoors. Then it's slippers or socks or bare feet, depending on the climate.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. So I'm like a fairly recent slippers convert. Because it took me years to... Because I just thought I didn't like slippers. It turns out I just don't like slippers that don't have, like, a back on them. Like, I feel like they're just going to fall off without that.
Yeah, you need a back, I think.
No, I have open back ones.
I hate the slippers I've got at the moment. But actually, as we've been recording, I'm sitting here thinking,
those
I
big
hate
monster
these
ones.
No, they're making my feet sweat, and I just don't like them.
Are they Chelsea ones?
No, they're not.
With the big Chelsea logo on the
I'll
front.
tell you what, these are horrific. If I showed you what they look like, you wouldn't let me hear the end of it, so I'm not going to.
Well, now you have to.
No. Here's what we do. Surely, we all take photos of our slippers, right?
Yes.
And we tweet them out, and people have got to guess whose is
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
That's the most middle-aged content you can get.
And then the people look at the photos and go, oh, well, the floor looks like shit in that one, so that'll be Sean's.
No, it's gonna be 3 pictures of lovely slippers and a massive pair of like workman boots covered in mud.
Okay, all right.
Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS Commander Video, years ago David mentioned being interviewed by an author who wanted to create a realistic gaming enthusiast character within their story.
That's true.
Apart from wondering whether that book was published and whether Spielberg might soon adapt it for the big screen, what kind of gaming-related book could you imagine yourselves writing? That's a good question.
Right, it wasn't published. Let's just get that. Well, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Gaming book, like the only thing gaming related that I'm sure I could say this now. Yeah, of course I can.
Uh-oh.
I was working with someone on a sitcom, which was the idea was the basic, but it didn't go anywhere because we had fundamentally opposing ideas of where it should go. But the idea was that it was a voice actor for a video game, right? Moving into a house share with 2 or 3 other people that all adored this person because they were in their favourite video game. So the idea was that the voice actor wasn't actually that famous, but in their world that he was moving into, he was like an absolute legend. And it was all about the wacky adventures they got up to. But yeah, no, the tone of the thing didn't work between the people writing it, and we abandoned that project. But that was
the other
quite
writer
fun.
went on to write Friends, didn't they?
They did. We were all very, we were all very disappointed with how that person nicked all our ideas. I mean, I basically wrote Chandler.
Based on you.
yeah. Well, just annoying.
That's a very good question. I mean,
it is a very good question.
I mean, I am not a writer, so we'll put it out there. But I always kind of wanted to take like gaming characters and then put them into the real world and see how they would react. It'd be almost like
like Sonic or Sonic 2.
Yeah, or like Master Chief, just like doing the weekly shop, just like it's kind of fly on the wall or kind of mockumentary. I mean, maybe this is more a sitcom than a book. Who knows? But
how
just
terribly
it sounds more like a sketch show.
Yeah. I think, Matt, you should write How to Pretend to be a Sega fan for many years. That would be an interesting, but I'll read that.
Yeah.
How to convince people you're a Sega fan when you've only played Sega Rally by Matt Murray.
Not true. You saw me post all those pictures of Sega magazines. I'm clearly, I'm clearly a very big fan.
He's an aficionado. Of
clearly
Sega.
had Sega Power.
Yeah, but I don't know if you, James, do you also see Matt Murray going to the shops, buying those Sega magazines, and then putting them like in storage instantly without even opening them? Do you see that?
No, I think
It's about the collecting.
No, I think he'd have been reading them cover to cover.
Yeah, I had every single form. I had a Jaguar in that massive shot. I took like Jaguar, Nintendo, PlayStation, all sorts. That's the good old days.
I would write a book about. I mean, I know you guys probably know this, but a lot of our listeners might not at this point. So the first podcast I ever did was for a games website called Dark Zero.
I remember that.
And it's kind of incredible, like for just like a fairly small, like enthusiast website.
I thought you were going to say the podcast was kind of incredible, guys. Yeah, it was kind of a big deal. What a podcast! Yeah,
basically, just the amount of people who went through that site, as I say, relatively small, like hobbyist thing, who ended up like in quite like doing all right in the industry, like Joe Scrabbles from IGN, Sean Bamberger now works at Sega, Tim Dixon now works at Capcom.
Sean, are you saying you're going to write your memoirs?
Well, it's not about me. I mean, everyone, because it'd be a bit of a downer to end it with like, oh, and I just do this podcast and stuff. It's not, it's not a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a pretty big deal. Like Emily Guerra as well. Who does she work? I can't remember if
she works for the Baldur's Gate people.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, just tons of like incredibly talented people all just sort of passed through this one little website once, and I think it would just be funny to just sort of do like a chapter on each of them and like what they did at Dark Zero and how they've sort of moved on since then.
But would any of them want to talk about it?
No, I wouldn't interview him. It'd just be based on my own recollection.
It's just you settling old scores and things like that.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Some of these profiles are fictional. Do not represent the.
I'll just do like the Bob Mortimer autobiography. Just basically kick it off by just saying like, look, I don't even know how much of this is made up at this point, so believe what you want.
I would like to do. This sounds like a documentary to me, Sean. Just.
Yeah, man.
Going around the house and saying, you owe me everything, don't you? Basically. Let's hear about you, but it's more about me, but let's hear about you, I guess. Let's hear about how I've inspired you.
I wonder what Sam White did, because he did some Dark Zero stuff as well.
Oh, God, track that down.
And I was going to say, I don't imagine you would read his Dark Zero stuff and think, this is a guy who should interview one of the houses.
Did I write for... No, I wrote a couple of things for the Midnight Resistance website, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. That was when you did the Sonic thing.
Which Sonic thing?
You did like Sonic October or something. We did a whole thing about Sonic.
Was it Sonic? We did. It's usually. It was.
Oh no, it was Dogtober.
Every December.
Dogtober. And my article was Sonic should have been a dog.
Dogcember. Because it was every December we had a themed monster.
Right,
we started with Dreamcember, and then we did Dogcember.
Yeah, that's right. I would like to write a book about the etiquette of Xbox Live. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, when you should be able to just join a party that you know's going on, right?
Yeah.
When you shouldn't do that at all. Absolutely shouldn't do that. When you can send a friend's request. When you should not send a friend's request. And so on. There's a lot of rules that need to be put in place there.
Yep.
Sounds like gatekeeping to me, David.
It's not gatekeeping.
Don't you dare gatekeep my
it's
party.
Not gatekeeping.
I will go to any party I want.
It's setting valuable and appropriate barriers.
Matt, you say that, but you don't do that. That was part of the problem. Like, we used to say to you, don't wait for an invite, Matt, because we're in the middle of a game. We know you want to play with us. You all know us in real life. Just join the party.
Nope, I demand at least 5 invites before I will go into a party.
Well, it's not. You're not going to be playing with anyone then, Matt, because no one's going to do that.
Please call the book "It's My Party" and I'll cry if I want to.
Is Matthew a vampire?
It's my party and Far Cry if I want to.
Surely, even better.
Thank you. Go on. Sorry, Sean. What was that?
I was just saying, is Matt a vampire? That's why he has to be. He can't enter a chat party without being invited.
Oh, is it vampires can't do that? No.
Famously, do you not watch the Twilight series?
No,
yeah,
I haven't,
actually. Come on.
They can't go on Xbox Live unless they got an invite.
No, but they can't enter people's homes unless they're invited in.
Who's going to invite that in? Of a fucking vampire?
Well, if they look like Edward Cullen, probably everyone.
Am I covering ground that's already been covered in the world of vampires?
Yes, this has already been
This sounds like Vampire Calls.
sorted. Oh my god, we've just watched loads of vampire films. What would you do? I mean, all right, so Twilight, obviously.
Yeah. Great soundtrack.
Do you know, I've just started a rewatch of Buffy with Rachel recently.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew so many people that were into that growing up. See, I still think Twilight Calls might be the next thing, right?
Well, we just all watch it and none of us know what we're talking about.
I'm talking not about Twilight, the series. I'm talking about the Twilight Zone.
Oh, right.
Because
yeah.
I just think that'd be a perfect one because it's all twists, right?
Yeah, man.
So, like, to talk about each episode of the Twilight Zone.
Which version, though? Are you talking the original Twilight Zone or the numerous remakes?
They're the ones that they were, like, wacky, right? Like, really sort of like, and his hand was the devil all along. Like, it was all that stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I never saw the original. I remember when I was little, I'll say little, must have been sort of 10-ish, we watched a lot of The Outer Limits, which was a very similar thing, yeah. Which was such a weird show because it would just like veer between like just being like really cool and interesting and being fucking terrifying. It was like some really scary
also
shit
frequent nudity as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that one where the guy gets a robot wife.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
I think we all remember that one.
What was this? Sorry? I missed the start of it. What was this?
The Outer Limits. It was a similar thing to the Twilight Zone. So it was like every episode was just like a self-contained short story, and it was all
wife.
I think was it all science fiction, James?
It was all science fiction.
Yeah.
It was around because there was a kind of renaissance of those kind of shows because there was Sliders as well that came around like the same sort of time. It was
very just sort of what if sci-fi, wasn't it? Like but
I watched a bunch of Outer Limits. It scared me. I think.
Man, it scared me as well. But it was kind of there was a sort of a 40% chance that it would just sort of be really interesting and
there's
cool
pictures
instead.
of me in it.
I was like, what?
Is there?
Yeah, if you search the Outer Limits and go to images, you see several pictures of me.
It also had an excellent like intro sequence as well that was very good.
Did
you just see that, Matt?
I have seen.
There I am.
Yeah, I've seen some images.
There I am. Yep.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Don't have a go at the eyes.
with his eyes. Yeah.
Let's find a little bit bulbous. Right, okay.
What was the question?
I don't know.
Something about the Outer Limits, isn't it?
The book.
The book, yeah. That's
So we're doing Twilight Calls.
Yeah,
Okay.
not before 2025.
No, we need breathing space.
Shatner was in those, the original.
Shatner.
Was he?
Holy Shatner.
Load of old Shatner.
All right, it's not.
Rob, the disillusioned
Crass.
toffee, says, "Evening all. As a long-suffering Evertonian, Sean will understand my pain
season,
being a
mate.
lifeline.
See you next season.
Sean will understand my pain being a lifetime Tranmere fan. No pain at all being a Tranmere fan, mate. It's bliss the whole time. I've had to find solace in other things in my life to keep me distracted and give me some joy. I've tried many different things from running, watching films, Lego Technic, etc., but nothing comes close to sitting down and getting stuck into a decent open world game. Do any of you have other hobbies that can top a good game to distract you and give you the same level of engagement? Looking forward to seeing you all in Sheffield."
Football doesn't really count because you can't just go to a football game. You've got to wait until it's. I'm beyond excited about going to the football this weekend. Like it's like being a school kid again. I'm so excited about going. But yeah, it doesn't really compare because you can't just do that in the evenings.
It's like, I've mentioned before, obviously, like I really enjoy doing photography, but then it's so situational, and yet it's like it's got to be planned, and it's just, and like, and like when I got well into like the drone stuff, it's like, well, like to me, as a keen video game person, getting a new hobby where it's like, well, the weather's shit today, so you can't do it, and I'm just like, what do you mean?
yeah.
What do you mean I'm just at the whims of like the fucking cosmos as whether or not I can do my hobby? That's ridiculous.
That's always made me laugh about cricket. It's like there's a big cricket, like could be a massive cricket game, and someone could be like absolutely thrashing the other team, and they go, "Oh, it's raining today, so draw." What? Yeah, it's a draw because it's raining today. We ain't got enough time, so draw now. What?
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, that is totally a thing. That is totally a thing, Sean. It blows my mind. Well, why don't we just carry on next week? Like, no, rain equals
That's just a draw.
Okay. It's probably podcasting, right? How many times have we all sat down and said, I don't want to do this tonight. I really don't want to do this tonight. I've had a shit day. I feel like shit. I'm tired. I'm done. And then by the end of it, 3 of us are like, that was really good. I'm really in a good mood now.
Yeah, never fails to help.
Yeah.
Never.
Picks you up. Telling you.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned the Craftsman on YouTube. The Craftsman steady crafting. He's a guy who he makes stuff, right? I think he's
Craftsman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he said craft. You said craft. It's
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. It was the emphasis on man. Like I would say craftsman, and you were saying craftsman. No, it's like, right.
Did I?
Like he's a superhero.
It's probably I think I'm being influenced by the way he says it. It makes sense.
Oh, really?
From his videos. Anyway, so he, I think his actual job is he does like
not craft.
What the craftsman? What he just comes out?
Just like pranks, just like hits people in the street, stuff like that. No, I think his actual job is he does like props for films, like stop motion films, stuff like that, like little sets. Like he does all this weird, like intricate stuff, and he just does videos like regularly about how he makes certain things, and they're all really fascinating. Very good unintentional ASMR, Dave, if that's
love that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like he does occasional videos where it's like people send him questions, and one person sent one in that was just like, how do you stay motivated to like keep making stuff and keep doing videos? And he's just like, I just have to, because I've got a routine and I have to stick to it, or else because that's my job. Like, and I think it's like doing this every Monday. Like as you say, there are Mondays where I'm just like, I don't want to do this tonight, but you have to. And then 10 minutes into it, you're just like, oh no, this is fine. What was I?
Yeah, it's weird.
Worried about,
it's weird.
So yeah.
I mean, we've spoken about it before, where we have these weird moments where sometimes we record a podcast and go, that was a dung one. And usually you'll say that and everyone will go, what? I thought it was really good. And you're like, no, it was terrible. And then you listen to it back and you're going, don't know why. What
it's fine.
Has happened there.
It's easy
great.
to like. I think it's easy to like, especially if something like quite sensitive or whatever has come up in the news. It's very easy to sort of later start questioning yourself, like, oh shit, did I come across well? Did I misspeak or misrepresent what I was trying to say or whatever? And that can sort of then bleed into the rest, can't it? Because then you start doubting yourself on that kind of thing, and it's like, well, what if everything I said was shit?
You forget that people can't hear your silly brain thoughts. You know what I mean? They're not being projected into the world. They're just sitting there in your dumb brain.
Yep.
Forget that for a bit. No.
On the subject of hobbies, right? Yes. I obviously go into a lot of toy shops with Elodie because she's a child, and I look at kind of all the toys, and I kind of sometimes stand in front of these toys expecting to have like an emotional reaction where I'm like, I want to get this. Like, have you felt that? I'll look at. Like,
I get it every time.
I look at like Lego,
I'm insane with it.
Or like even things like Funko Pops, which I look. I'm like, okay, this is something I guess I should be into. I'm like, but I've never wanted to get one of these things. I look at like Lego. Okay, well, I used to love Lego as a kid. Is this a point where I look at a Lego set? I'm like, I'm buying it. I'm going to get into this hobby. I'm going to find this, and I never do it. And it's like I'm going to these like toy aisles in like Tesco or Sainsbury's, like look at all this stuff which as a kid I would almost be bursting with excitement of all these things I could get or wanted to get and was circling in the Argos catalogue, and now I'm like, I just don't feel anything anymore.
No, you see, I don't feel anything because I look at it and just think I've got time to do any of this.
Mate, I can't relate to this at all. I go into a toy shop and my heart starts pounding and I'm like, I want to buy so much of this, especially Lego. I'm so desperate for someone from Lego to reach out to us and say, we will send you Lego, because I want to, like, here's the thing with Lego, right? I really want to do a decent sized build of Lego, really want to do it. I can't because A, they're quite expensive, and if I'm spending that amount on Lego, it shouldn't be for me. It should be for my son that is obsessed with Lego. So,
well, plus it's like with Lego or anything that you build, it's this, like, where do you put it? Like, is Joe going to let you have a shelf in the living room to put it on?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So,
but I don't care. I really want. I really. If anyone from Lego's listening, please get in touch. I want to build Lego.
And then, David, we should be contacting them.
yeah.
They're not going to listen to the show, are they?
Yeah.
We're too big for that. No, hold on. We're too big for that, right? Surely we just put the name out there.
Say we'd love a build. We'd do like a video or streaming where we build it
I'd
live.
do a stream of me building Lego. Absolutely, I'll do all that.
But we should be contacting them with that.
Okay.
They're not going to be listening to this, are we?
I'll do that. Who do I contact? Do I just go lego@lego.com?
I think that's the address. Yeah, I think that's the
Is that
address.
the email?
It's actually Mr. Lego.
.co.uk.
Mr. Lego.
Yeah, but there's stuff like that, like the Rubik's Cube stuff that me and Harry are still doing, like constantly just solving Rubik's Cubes. I love all that. And then we saw it's so stupid. We bought like a speed cube, right, which is built differently and it works a lot faster and it really like cuts your times down. But we were in the shop the other day and they had a £20 metallic Rubik's Cube. And I was so close to just going, I'm just going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it because it just looks cool. So I want to own that. Even though it's made by the Rubik's people, and they do not make good cubes. Sean, they do not make good cubes. What else? Everything, like the Mario shit. The Mario shit they've got in those toy shops. You're just like, I want it all. Just buy it all. Fuck it.
I think. Do you think it's partly because like we were like when we were kids, you could not just walk into fucking Asda and get Mario merch.
But if you could, my parents would go, absolutely not. Like they never used to just buy us toys like throughout the year. It's a wait till your birthday. Or Christmas.
I've probably gone too far the other way because I will take any excuse to treat Isaac to something like only something small, but still like you say, just miles ahead of stuff that we would just get as kids, like because it just never happened for us. It was Christmas and birthdays, and that was basically it. Whereas if Isaac's been good at nursery or whatever, like I'll probably have like a Hot Wheels car in a drawer that he hasn't seen yet, and I'm like, there you go, because they're £1.50.
See, I think because I grew up, the only thing I played with mostly was Lego because my parents just drilled it into my brain that anything else was just a waste of money. And
what?
So
why wasn't Lego a waste of money?
Because you build, it's creative. You like build stuff yourself and all that kind of thing. That was their idea, everything. Yeah. So it's
envious.
still like drilled into my head this idea of just like it's a waste of money. It's just
my dad was very he never liked the Beatles. He liked the Stones. He was very sort of against everything. So we didn't have Lego. We had fucking Playmobil and Meccano, and it's like.
We did have Meccano, and Meccano was awful. I hated that.
Yeah, it was just crap, and it fell apart after 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, no Lego in the house when I was a kid, and that is what an absolute.
No way.
Yeah, I loved Lego as a kid, and Elodie has loads of it. I mean, we had to build new shelves because she had loads of like Harry Potter Lego sets that are basically kind of like you build it, and you don't really want to dismantle it because the joy of it is just playing with it as a built Lego set. So So I see that. I think maybe I should take the plunge and buy one, and then I'll be like, okay, I get this.
Totally
now.
should.
But also, I think Sean is totally right. It's having the space. Like, where do I put it afterwards?
Yeah, because like I like with like Gunpla as well, right? So the little Gundam, robot figures are like they're so much fun to put together. But again, it's like, well, yeah, but what if I get a bunch of them? Where the fuck do they go? And and this isn't even like I'm too embarrassed to put my toy robots on a shelf in the living room. I would do it. There's literally no space for it. So just
So sorry, James, you gone.
I was going to say one of my favourite times when I was a kid was when the new Argos catalogue used to come out.
Yeah,
you go and get the new Argos catalogue, and then I used to
lingerie section,
and then I used to just build things that were in that out of Lego. You just look at the pictures.
Oh, I see, and then just recreate them, and
and recreate them out of Lego.
I can't decide if that's
it's like those people that say, "Oh, I've got an ear for music." They listen to a song for like 2 seconds and go, "Well, I can play it now," and you're like, "What? How is that?" You like that with Lego?
No, it was like you'd look at, you'd be like, okay, there's some Transformers there. I'd like those. Well, you're not having those. Just build them, and so then just build them out of Lego.
I can't decide if that's actually quite smart from a developmental point of view, or just really sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
I want a McDonald's tonight. Build it out of Lego.
I want Ghostbusters one on VHS. Build the VHS out of Lego. You fucking
eat it.
So yeah,
sitting there with a Lego Mega Drive. crying.
Mum, I'm really hungry. Build it.
But like, this is why like by the time we got to like video game consoles, I was like, this is amazing. It's like I don't have to build it. It's like, you know,
I can buy this one.
I mean, is this
like,
why you don't want to do anything around the flat? Like,
what do you mean?
Because you spent your whole childhood building stuff, so
I'm just sick of it.
Sick
now.
of it. Yeah.
No, David, it's not that. It's basically Chen's had light bulbs for ages, made out of Lego.
Actually, I've got to sort out under the sink next week. Well, soon.
under the sea.
don't build that out of
Jones
Lego.
with Lego curtains, everyone.
I've got a leak. It's annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's not my
Got to
fault.
get the landlord onto that.
It's Chen's fault.
Oh,
Okay.
Don't tell.
Why is it check? Okay.
sorry, Sean, just on the Hot Wheels thing. Tonight it was announced that J.J. Abrams and Warner Bros. Are making a live-action Hot Wheels movie.
You are kidding me.
For realsies.
Wow. Holy shit. Well, that'll be a good cinema trip with Isaac.
Wow, you sounded like
Wow.
Owen Wilson for a moment then.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, Matt, you should totally just buy yourself a Lego kit, man. Just like keep an eye on like Hot UK deals because they'll usually be like, oh look, here's a fucking McLaren car for 30 quid or something. Like there's usually like really cool ones that's like
you
go
like
on
your
sale.
McLaren cars, don't you?
I love a McLaren
I want to
car.
do the Friends stuff.
There you go.
The Friends stuff looks good. And the little Sonic pack that come out, that looks alright.
Yeah, but all those sets look cool, but I don't know.
I mean, basically, like I know what you're like, and I'm the same. And then it's like, right, if I'm just going to get one, it's got to be the right one, right? But actually,
Gotta be the big
there's
one.
not really any wrong decision. Like, just get
Go with a £650 Death Star.
just get something for like 30 odd quid that you think looks cool, and spend like a couple of evenings doing it, and then you'll know whether or not it's something you should persevere with.
Yeah, but the Gunpla thing's interesting because I follow one dude who basically like posts like a picture of an IPA and a Gunpla model he's like built, and I'm like, yeah, they look cool, but again, like,
Yeah, man.
I think I'm looking at this thinking, expecting to have like a real emotional reaction where I'm like, okay, I emotionally am connected, I want to buy it. I just don't really have that kind of thing is missing.
I think that
that
comes
with anything.
afterwards, right? I think you just have to make like a surface level judgment on whether or not the thing looks cool. And then by the time you finish building it, because like for me, it's the pro. I mean, I don't do like loads of Lego stuff or anything, but it's the process of building it is inherently enjoyable to me because it's just like, oh, my brain's like just shut up for like an hour.
Yeah,
That's
it was fun
ridiculous.
building
That never happens.
Elodie's Lego Harry Potter stuff with her. So
Yeah. There you go.
I'm not allowed to
Do it.
touch any of Harry's Lego stuff. He just
You
goes
don't?
off into his room and just makes it.
No,
And
I'll
then
tell
he
you,
comes back. It's
Asher
so
does that with-
disappointing.
is exactly the same with his stuff, and also Asher like has put it all out as like a, you know, he's worked out, you know, where all the lands are and all that kind of thing. Chen
That's
like
cool though.
cleaned
I
his
like
room the other day and moved some
Oh,
stuff
no.
around, and he went,
Oh, no.
he was furious, like
bet.
what happened, because he was just like,
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
poor old Harry hasn't got a chance because he builds it and literally within 24 hours it's smashed up. Like Charlie's just absolutely just destroyed it. So then it all gets put in the box.
Yeah, because we've got quite a lot of Lego Mario stuff now, which I don't think I ever talked about on here, did I? But it's really good.
Yeah, it's good
the
stuff.
Lego Mario, it's really nice. But yeah, it's same deal, except it's just like me and Isaac. And Isaac doesn't like smash stuff on purpose. He just doesn't like. He's got no concept of it like being a level.
I thought it was the other way around that
you.
you built it, that he built it and you smashed it up.
I'm going, no, look,
You're
look.
just a complete arsehole.
got to learn. He's got to learn.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, and again, it's that thing, isn't it? Of like, as a parent, you have to sort of, you know, when you feel yourself like getting too into something that the kids are trying to do, and it's like, because I'm sort of looking at, thinking, oh, I know, I could make like a cool level with this, and it's like, no, just let the child have his toy. Don't fucking
it's so annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What about me? What about
I
me?
can build a really cool car. No, you have the good bricks, I guess. Daddy won't bother, I guess.
Yep.
So to answer your question, Rob, no.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, there was a question. Next.
What should we do next? Garrison Savannah says, are you guys more concerned? This is an Elden Ring question. Are you more concerned about going to Caelid or the horrible hand spiders that hang around north of floating Hogwarts?
I ain't going anywhere near that. I ain't going anywhere near that.
It says, I have zero issues with spiders, but the way those hand things move still freaks me out somewhat, so I put off going there for a bit. Are they spider-like enough to trigger any arachnophobia?
It's an interesting question.
Yes.
I wanted to ask this, and I was like, I don't know if Dave's seen it, so I won't mention the giant hand spider things.
I've seen it.
I
I've
think
seen it.
you'd
I got
probably
the
rather
I got
know.
the warning from John.
Yeah.
To be fair, I watched loads of videos of it, and they didn't trigger me too bad. So I
Did
think
they not?
I'd be
Okay,
all right.
yeah, they freak me out. But then, in a way, it's kind of empowering because it's a horrible spider, but I can fucking smash it with a sword and shoot magic at it and kill it.
Help me
Can't do that in real life. Imagine if every time you just saw a fucking horrible big house spider, you just get your fucking magic wand out, just
I'd be out of the room.
gone.
I'd be out of the room, baby.
Oh, would you? We'd just give it a blast. Just blast it.
Yeah. See you later. I don't want them any men near me.
You could buy a big katana online, David.
Yeah.
A
replica one.
You can't do that, can you?
Of course you can.
Can you do it online? I remember that. I remember like the weird shops in Manchester where you used to be able to just get
like hemp shops,
swords and stuff. Yeah.
Buy a blade.
Yeah,
and get your phone screen replaced.
Get some fucking nunchucks.
Yeah. While you wait.
There was one in Manchester was next to a comic shop. I used to go in. I might have mentioned this before. And there's a sign above the door to the comic shop, and it said, comics, books, magazines, and then crossed out poppers.
Oh, must have sold out, Sean.
Yeah. I was gutted.
Shame.
Right, last one. Ron the Sheep. Hello, gang. Since David and Sean have lived there and James and Matt have been to Wembley, I'm appealing to your expertise on London. I'm heading there in a couple of weeks and would like to know about affordable eateries near the British Museum. More importantly, as gamers, what are your go-to sites to see when in town? Thanks and sorry for the annoying question. That's not annoying. It's all right. I don't think I've got any good answers. I mean, affordable eateries around the museum?
Honestly, only affordable place to eat in London is McDonald's. It's everything else is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, my London knowledge is piss poor now because obviously it's been a long time since I lived there, and obviously still quite a long time since I last visited due to the COVID.
It's an easy option. It's on the Bab. You go there. It's amazing.
Oh shit, yeah. On the Bab is incredible. To be fair, yeah.
It's on the Bab.
It's like Korean. Korean. I mean, to me, it's a Korean fried chicken place. Obviously, they do other things.
Yeah.
Okay,
so good.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a fried chicken place.
Any suggestions? Definitely take a ferry down the Thames. Like, that is the most underrated thing you can do, and it's not that expensive. Like, it's
that's not the same as the Thames Clipper, is it?
I don't know. It's like the tour, the ferry tour. There'll be a tour guide on top. They say the same thing every time. If the lion's head's sinking, then London's sinking. They say if the lion's drinking, then London's sinking. If the lion's head's stuck, then London's in trouble. Please tip us at the end of the. But to be fair, the views of London from the river, I just can't be beaten. Going up to the top of Shard's really good, but it's overpriced for what it is. But I would suggest going to the top of the Shard over the London Eye for sure, because you don't feel like you're stuck in a capsule with people you don't know.
The London Eye is brilliant. We really love that.
It's great, but like also the getting to the top of the Shard's better because the views are better, and it's just a better experience. What else? I mean, do the usual stuff and don't. It is
all the obvious touristy stuff, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, go to Big Ben, go to Buckingham Palace, and go to
Tower of London. Tower of London's good.
Tower of London's alright. Yeah, it's just such a great place. I love it. I love London.
It is now starting to feel like a problem. Like how long it's been since I was last there. I don't I've never missed it. Like I've always me missing London was always about like the people. Like all the mates that live there.
The Londoners. The Londoners. You miss the people of London.
I do. Whereas now it's more like, like the place. Like I now miss the place a bit, which is weird.
Yeah, it's I love it. I mean, I've lived here all my life, but when you do the whole, that's not true. I can't say that because I lived in Milton Keynes for 2 years. So that's just hit me that I can't say that. But anyway, I mean, if you stick to the touristy stuff, like I said, it must have been about 6 years ago, Joe and I just went, let's just do a load of touristy stuff in London. And we did that, and it was like, oh my God, I forgot how amazing this place can feel.
Me, you and Jill did, and Joe, we did like the aquarium and went to Buckingham Palace and all sorts, and it was like, this is just a lovely day out. Remember that?
We went to Buckingham Palace.
Well, we weren't outside it because there's like that museum or something nearby.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, great.
We had those really horrible looking like cheese and bacon picnic straws in the.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that was terrible. Oh, what is Oh, there's a couple of really good parks there as well. There's one right in the middle of everything where you can just see everything. I can't remember if it's St James's or... I don't know. There's a park, go to the park. Right, okay. Is that it for the show this week?
That is it for the show.
Matt, socials.
Yeah, TCGSCON tickets are still on sale. Go to tcgs.co/TCGSCon if you want to get one of the last few remaining tickets there. That live show and up to 4 hours of not paintball, Jesus Christ, Laser Crest. That's on July the 2nd. So go there to get your tickets. On streaming, Thursday, Sea of Friends. Is that happening, Sean?
It is.
It is.
Yes. I don't know who's on it because I haven't. I mean, I've got. I said this like the other week. I've got like a few people who've said they're up for it. I haven't specifically asked anyone for this week. But oh my god, last week's was incredible. I'm not saying like everyone should go and watch it because it's like 3 hours long or whatever. But it was fucking. Some of the stuff that happened was just ridiculous. Like a guy just joined our boat, a Frenchman, and we don't know how he got on the boat. And he insisted that he didn't have his own boat.
Okay.
Which is literally impossible, right? You always have your own boat. And he was just hanging around on the boat, being really friendly and helpful, but we were all just really worried that he was going to try and kill us the whole time. Like, we were just like trying to be friendly to this guy, and everyone in the chat's just going like, fucking kill him! He's deceiving you!
Yeah, what's he going to do to us?
Yeah, it was just absolutely surreal. And
there's that amazing moment where you threaded a needle where was it you, Sean?
Oh god,
you got blasted over the island, but then through the other hole of...
Yes,
that was awesome.
We were trying to save time by chucking ourselves in the cannons and shooting ourselves onto an island. And yeah, basically Chris fired me and I went straight over the bit I was supposed to land on and then sort of through like a hole in the top of the island. And yeah, it was so much fun.
Amazing, really. Yeah. If you missed that live, you can watch last week's stream and all the previous Sea of Friends streams on our YouTube channel. Just search for TCGS on YouTube. James, you're not streaming it, are you? You're still taking some time to work out what's next, is that correct?
Yeah, do you know, I'll tell you what I really, really want to stream that I was thinking about just now is I really want to stream Sonic the Hedgehog. The one that came out in 2006.
Whoa!
Oh yes, yeah.
I really would like to stream that, but I don't think it's possible because I don't think it's available like on anything that I own anymore.
They're not going to have put the effort in to make that backwards compatible.
Because that's the thing. I was wondering if it's backwards compatible, but I don't know. I mean, it's got it. So I can see it on the Xbox 360, but then I don't know if it works on Xbox One or not.
Yeah. I mean,
if it does,
what were you thinking like a full run or just do one episode of it just to...
How many episodes were released for that? 1 or 2?
No, this is the full game, wasn't it?
This was the 2006 one. Are you thinking of Sonic 4, Matt?
Yeah, possibly,
episodes. Yeah. That was all right.
I'll see if I can, if it works. If it works, I might stream that on Friday because I've heard a lot of things about it over the years and I'm just really curious.
Cool. So there may be a stream on Friday as well at 9. They're both on twitch.tv/TCGSCO. If you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Twitch Prime Gaming, connect your Twitch account with your Amazon account. You have a free sub every month as part of that. Come over to our channel and give it to us. We really, really appreciate it. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/TCGS for exclusive monthly podcasts. April's is already out now, and Talk Servers, which we did on the weekend where we all played VR fishing, and it's a right old laugh. Epic Game Store, if you are buying V-Bucks or anything Fortnite related on the Epic Game Store on PC or on console, enter creator code TCGS and we'll get a kickback. I looked the other day, we're 11.5% of our way towards a payout. So thank you to those who have entered the creator code TCGS. We really, really appreciate it.
How much you got to get for a payout?
$100.
Right, okay. So £11. We've got £11 in there.
Well, I mean, I don't know what percentage it is of purchases, but we appreciate it nonetheless. TCGS.co is the website for links to our socials, our podcasts, our store for merch, TCGSCON tickets, Discord, the lot. And that's it.
Cool.
All right. Well, then we're done. We will catch you next week for some more gaming chit chat.
Or just a load of unrelated shit based on this week.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it this week, though. It's been fun. No, there's a new game out next week, so there's going to be... We don't have to talk about Centre Parks.
Is it? Switchboards.
Oh, Switchboards.
Isn't it?
Got my strap-ons ready to go.
I'm just going to end it there.
Yep.
Thanks for living it. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.